crave it more than I do.
I gotta
We're
admit,
talking
I like
about
it just a
turkeys,
little bit
by the
less now.
way.
Yeah.
Who do you love
Okey-doke.
more, riffs or turkeys? The decision is yours.
Why not both?
I'd have to go to a nice
Okay.
restaurant at this point.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to Riffs. Give me just a moment. I'm just tweeting things out here. Oh,
Around
I'm
the group.
three characters over, so now I have to just get rid of a couple spaces, and that should do it. No, now I'm 6 somehow. How
That
did me
sounds
removing things
just
Twitter's
terribly
broken.
complicated.
more? Oh, here, I'll just say live
cannot
now
see the
instead of
chat.
come watch at. You know, this fucking character limit is the stupidest goddamn thing. It was
At least they
years ago.
changed it to what it was before, where if like you threw in an image, that would take up your character limit. I think it either doesn't do it or doesn't do it as much now.
Yeah. Its algorithm is still a little janky, but
I mean, it's stupid as hell.
Anyway,
Hey everyone! Sorry.
see, the best thing, I think my favorite thing about Twitter is that when people want to do something like put out a statement that's more than a sentence or two longer, what they do is they use these special apps which makes their statement into a picture. You're just like, I wonder. Let's see. People are really craving to talk. Well, anyways, let's not talk about social media. It is boring and not this game. So let me just pop out the chat.
They don't even have social media in the 30s.
They don't. Well, they do. It's called the newspaper and the radio and talking to your best gal. Oh, which reminds me, I gotta get my sweet ass lingo cheat sheet out. You never know when you might have to say the word cinder dick.
Oh.
That's a
every
railroad
day.
detective.
That sounds painful.
No, it's a cinder as in for the railroad, and then Dick short for, Dick Tracy, a detective.
Hey, Cinda Dick.
Hey, Cinder Dick. Okay, anywho. Yeah, that's your new song. All right, anyway, when we last left off, you guys visited, the party, I should say, more specifically, visited a strange, eccentric, and shut-in gentleman by the name of Frank Patterson, who did not want to initially see you. He seemed to have a lot of paranoia, a lot of suspicions, which wasn't really helped when Mila broke into the apartment and Lavin stole wine from him that he hasn't found out about yet, and Al busted his front door. But after a little, but after a little chase around his estate, in which you did eventually make clear, or he kind of just gave up because you were so persistent, that you weren't an actual threat to him, and in fact, you were one of the few people who actually knows what the heck he's talking about. And specifically, it's in regards to a golden rabbit. The golden rabbit, he believes, is one of the transmundane, a powerful object that are linked to the occult and sinister powers. And these same sinister powers love to hide clues about the transmundane in plain sight. The golden rabbit is one of these transmundane properties, and one of the clues that are hidden in plain sight was done in the work of the person who made the golden rabbit, a fellow named Eugene Neal, a brilliant author, poet, mathematician, and most importantly, a sculptor. On his 58th birthday, he sent out a suicide letter in which he proudly proclaimed that after finishing his most wondrous work of art, the golden rabbit, he realized he could do no better, and with his life mission complete, he decided to hide himself away into the bowels of nature and commit suicide and take the golden rabbit with him, which 12 years ago led a large treasure hunt in the hopes of finding Eugene Neal's remains and the golden rabbit itself. Unfortunately, according to Patterson, this has not been found yet, but possibly he's deciphered that his previous work before the golden rabbit 7 other sculptures, one of a monkey, a bull, a sparrow, an octopus, a fox, a rhino, and a turtle, which I'll once again bring us over here in roll 20 so you see, would provide clues to the location of Eugene Neal's remains and the golden rabbit. And the first clue, Patterson has the rhino and the turtle figurines in which you've been allowed to study, and Patrick has already tried to finagle and work with it, matching up feet of the object and peering through it, and thinking that you'll need the actual physical sculptors in order to get the full, I guess, message out of these sculptures. Mr. Patterson does know that the antiquarian art gallery does have one of Eugene Neal's other sculptures, that of a bull. That was your first lead after we left off. In addition, 2 other small happenings happened last session, which was also in Eugene Neal's possession was a black obsidian falcon made out of solid rock, or looking like it's made out of solid rock, which greatly, if not perfectly, resembled Lavin's own falcon that he used to help hunt back on Earth. And in addition, Hannibal was also found, thankfully, as a full-fleshed dog um, in the care of a young family out in the suburbs. And after bonding considerably with the little 6-7-year-old child that lived in the residence, kind of came up with a bit of a compromise to have them kind of take care of the dog for you for at least a few days, so the child wouldn't be too upset and you wouldn't have to worry where, Hannibal's well-being was. So did I miss anything important there? Is everyone pretty much caught up mentally? We're good?
Sounds right. Yeah, I can't think of anything else of note.
Okie dokie. So I guess the big question is that after you're done dealing with Hannibal, for lack of a better word, it's probably getting relatively late in the day, possibly around, well, late in the afternoon, I guess I should say, around 4 o'clock in the afternoon or so. The question remains for you players is what you guys would like to do. Would you like to go back to the Rhapsody and kind of let your other friends know what you've deciphered? Do you want to kind of put your heads together? Do you want to go straight to the antiquarian and kind of check things out? Do you want to follow up on any other leads? You did hire Detective Dex Delaney and did leave your information to him, so he did say he'll be in contact with you the moment he comes up with anything. But yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Well, team, what are you feeling?
Ooh. Okay, so present goal is to find out more things about the statue, but statues, plural.
Yeah.
And we know we are currently quote unquote in possession of 2.
Mm-hmm.
We know where 1 is. Question mark on the other 4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, 5 if you count the gold one, but I mean that's just
That's the end goal.
Yeah.
We could try to find out more about the rest of them. We can check back with the group, or we can try to converse with the art gallery, or at least check things out there. That last one's a bit iffy because we have really no plan of obtaining it.
Yeah, do we know how late the art gallery's open?
No, you don't, but you could always drive past and see what their hours of operation are. Or you can kind of ask around on the street with a simple streetwise check.
Yeah, we can just pass by it. Fuck it, we'll just pass by it. Because I'm curious, if we go in, even if we can't take the darn thing, we can maybe still, glean some insight as to maybe, how, unless Patrick's pretty confident he knows how they function, maybe get some of that hashtag lore. Because it's an art gallery. There's got to be some guy there that knows about the art. You can pick his brain for a tour of that specifically.
Likely not aware that it's part of some weird cult thing, though.
Yeah, but he might know something even if he doesn't outwardly know that it's something.
Sounds good.
It is said that a lot of people were trying to find this thing. The gold rabbit. Now, mind you, that I don't think they know if it's directly connected with the rest of it, though.
No, they just know it's a valuable thing. So if you found it, it's like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Right. So they probably don't know that they're
There's a treasure
attached.
hunt.
Yeah.
This also started, 12 years ago, if I recall correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You betcha.
So there could have been a lot of hype for trying to get this rabbit and these statues, which died down over the past 12 years. Because 12 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But a history nut
Pogs?
would still be eager. What?
Remember Pogs?
Pogs.
No.
Remember Beanie Babies?
Actually, I do.
Yeah,
Remember the 90s?
I was just giving an example of, fads and how quickly they can fade from memory and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anywho,
so we can go back.
I wouldn't mind.
Go ahead, Burn. Sorry.
I wouldn't mind doing whatever. I mean, I could.
Thank you, Burn.
I'm just saying.
I never thought.
Okay, how about let's just go to the fucking museum. Let's just check it out. We don't have to stay very long.
Sure.
Yep.
You're fine, Burn. You're doing great.
Although Pip did say he just had another thought.
Oh, what was that?
I did?
Did you?
I
swore you did.
No, I don't have another thought. I could tell
Oh,
you
then
that.
never mind.
I'm
hearing
old
things.
dummy.
I only have one thought.
At a time.
Okay. All right. Great. So, checking your map, and the antiquarian is far from we lost Piff on roll 20.
What?
Oh yeah.
Did
If
we?
you're not there, you are.
There you
What? No, I'm here.
Okay. Just your icon. It's no big deal. Anyway, checking your map, the antiquarian is not some private residence. It resides just slightly south of downtown of Velda City itself. So, although it's about a 15-minute drive, and Lavin and Patrick are the ones driving the automobiles, and you're starting to get a little bit more used to these contraptions, and more importantly, these strange traffic lights and rules and pedestrians who just seem to walk across the street whenever they want. There's absolutely no order to any of this. But thankfully, you don't strike anybody. Nor get an accident. Less people are shaking their fists at you as well. And sure enough, you pull up aside on the curve in a small parking area right next to this single story, yet I guess you could say both long and wide building. And sure enough, in a large painted sign with a big white backdrop and wonderful black text and this wonderful classic printer press type format, it sure enough spills out the words "The Antiquarian." What's interesting is that the main entrance seems to be on the corner of the building itself. And with the exception of a few glass windows on either side of the main entrance, the rest of the building is pretty much bricked off. You you can see a few other signs and posters in these glass windows that read something something similar to this. It shows the hours of operation, which is Monday to Friday from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sundays from 12 p.m. noon to 9 p.m. in the in the evening. In addition, it says that currently it is in the process of, I guess you could say, refurbishing or getting prepared for a new exhibit focused on something that's called the Great War. And they said that should be completed in the next 7 days. Although it is, well, it's like I said, it's just a little after 4 now. Maybe it's around 4:15, 4:20 in the afternoon by the time you get there. And it appears from the electric lights that are shining on the inside of the building itself, the place does still seem open.
Oh, what day is it?
It is Tuesday.
Oh.
Didn't I say 9 to, what did I say, 9 to 4?
You said it was open till 3 o'clock.
Oh, 3 o'clock. Oh my God. I'm not even paying attention to my own notes. I'm sorry. Despite a wooden sign hanging out front that says closed, there are still lights going on inside, and you can still see through the glass a few figures coming and going.
Lavin says, "Look, Great War. Maybe these guys have the information we're looking for."
Good job, Spiral.
Oh, I get it! Ellie says, like, 5 minutes later. Ellie will go to open the door.
The door is, you go to open the door. It is this wonderful, smooth metal, dark gray, obviously, due to the tone of everything. Dark gray metal. And you give it a little pull, and you see the doors kind of shudder a little bit, but it appears to be locked. However, there is a square glass window in the door itself. And you peer in, and you don't see anybody on the other side immediately, but you do see what appears to be some draped, large blocky wood crates with sheets hanging off of them, in addition to what appears to be some empty glass stands far off. Give me 2 seconds, and I'll trust you guys not to metagame things too much, but I'm going to kind of show you an overall map of the antiquarian. Yeah. So this is the main entrance that you're peering through.
Okay.
And yeah, you can just see kind of crates and whatnot so far. Some of the other signs out front that are kind of advertising for the antiquarian shows that their secondary exhibit and their local exhibit are currently active. In addition, they do have some rare stock footage of the Great War playing in their theater, although much of it will not be fully unveiled until the main exhibit is ready and operational. It also says, for any questions or concerns, please contact or if you need any sort of information, or if you want to book school trips or club meetings or alike, to contact Mr. Hugo Montoyes.
Hey, wait a minute, that's a great idea. Ellie, perks her head up and looks at the group. We'll book it as a school trip, then we'll have the whole place to ourselves.
I mean, that would work.
Yeah, and we can ask all the questions we need because we're schoolers, and we can find out all the information we need to know.
And we would be learning something, so...
Yeah.
Sure.
So how do I get a hold of this Montoya? Is there a phone number?
There is not a phone number. I guess the assumption is that you speak with the gentleman face to face when the museum is open.
Ellie will wait to see if she can spot anyone in the building.
You wait a couple minutes, and sure enough, you do see a figure past in between some of these covered crates from kind of one end of the hallway to another.
She will start knocking on the door.
The figure stops, gives a bit of a startle, and heads towards the door. As he peers through the glass and as he approaches Ellie, and for anyone else that's peering through curiously, you would see a gentleman who appears to be in his early 30s. He's wearing a very sharp suit. He's a lean gentleman. He's about 5'6" or so. He has this dark, jet black hair that's pulled back over his head in a kind of a swan-like hairstyle, and he has a very, very thin mustache just above his lip. He has a very square jaw and these very, very deep, dark eyes. But he gives a very pleasant and professional smile. He also looks to be of slightly Hispanic ethnicity as well. And he moves to the door. You kind of hear a little bit of unlatch. Hear it unlatches a little bit as he opens the door into the street, and he goes, "Oh, good day, miss. I'm sorry." And his eyes kind of move over towards some of the posters there. And he says, "As you can see, the antiquarian is currently closed. If you're interested, you can come back tomorrow."
Well, I just wanted to book a school trip, and I didn't know how to get in contact with the gentleman on the board.
Just a moment.
Uh-oh.
You just cut out there for me. Give me a moment.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Did my audio come through for everyone else?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, now we have to play the game of whose internet's betraying who. Me or Inferno. Mine's been so bad.
In this game, no one wins.
How's chat doing? Hey people, I'm here. Miss anything important? Nah. Not really. We went to a museum. It's closed.
Shit.
Shit.
I was half waiting for just like the rest of the party to be like, all right, I'm gonna climb the walls and try to go through a window. I'll go around back to steal some more alcohol.
Trying to book a school trip. Listen, very simple. Very
like,
simple.
don't be silly.
Yeah.
We would never do that.
Think they have alcohol in here?
If they do, it's behind some really thick glass and extremely rare.
Or
Rare enough to be put on an exhibit and never touched.
It's, they had alcohol like everywhere. Like mini bars galore.
But you would think alcohol in a museum would be really old.
Or really?
It's true. Like, I could imagine, like, some really old people. I'm trying to determine whether or not Tom would know about pirates. Let's just say no and say that Tom didn't say anything.
Good.
Probably. The Rhapsody has alcohol.
What's this?
Hi.
We're debating if there's any alcohol in the museum.
Does Tom know about pirates?
You have
I'm
got
gonna
to have
say
seen
no.
Pirates of the Caribbean. On one of the vids? Or we had to have had it.
I don't think so.
That's Jack Sparrow, though.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the endless storytellers didn't share your passion, I guess.
No, but what about in space?
Oh, in space.
Yeah, we had so much
Oh, in space.
Did I just out memory you, Inferno?
No, I just didn't know the context.
Oh, sorry.
Out memory me. You sound so proud of yourself. Okay,
I
anyway.
had a moment. I was very proud.
Anyways, back on with this scene. Sorry.
Yes.
You were saying to this gentleman. Oh, I was just looking to. Go ahead.
I just wanted to book a school trip. But I didn't know how to get in contact with this gentleman on the paper.
Oh, he says. So that's Hugo Montoya's. That's myself. Man.
Oh,
of course. Are you a teacher?
You could say that, yes.
Oh, all right. And what school are you with?
So I have kind of a what's the word? A special case scenario. You see, I work down over at the Rhapsody. And
he kind of, you see him, he kind of furrows his brows like he's trying to seek out what the heck the Rhapsody is. Go ahead.
It's a establishment for performers and such that people go to just.
Oh, yes. I saw posters around. Yes.
Well, the thing is, all of my
now
staff...
he's starting to look at you carefully, like a moment of realization has just hit his head.
Yes, but all of my staff, they're just so uncultured, and I figured like this might be a good place for them to go and learn some things, so that maybe we can have a more highbrow establishment. Is highbrow the word I'm looking for? Patrick, did I use the word right?
Gives you like an okay hand.
She nods.
Oh, so less of a school trip, more of a business business function?
I suppose I didn't know if it mattered, but I wanted to be sure that we had someone who was informed on the pieces in your establishment.
Oh, he says, well, our Great War exhibit isn't quite finished yet, although we could show you our local exhibit and our secondary exhibit. I don't know if that'd be any interest of you. The local stuff, perhaps. It all has to do with happenstances around Velda City. Our secondary exhibit is, well, about the geological formations of volcanoes. In addition, of course, we do have our theater, although we're in the process of switching out the reels to be more in line with our main exhibit, this whole Great War thing.
Right. So, can you tell me more about the volcano? Like, Ellie leans in, like, can you tell me more about the volcanoes?
Well, miss, I don't really have a whole lot of... Well, let's maybe we should get a few... he pauses for a moment, and he kind of looks you all over. He says, well, there's no reason for you to standing out here in the streets like a couple vagrants, so why don't you come on inside, even though it's past closing hours? I was just helping some of our workers move some things around. Why don't you step into my office, and we can kind of hash out the details here.
Oh, wonderful. As long as it's not too much of a trouble.
Oh, no, of course not. I believe in education regardless of age. We all have to learn, right? That's the whole purpose of a museum.
Yes.
And he opens up the door for all of you, and he kind of gives a bit of a nod of his head. And for those of you who didn't hear, he introduces himself as Hugo Montoya's, the floor manager for the antiquarian. I'm assuming you all step on inside?
Yep.
Yes.
As you do so, he closes and locks the door behind you. And sure enough, you see this wonderful, huge main hall that is just filled with what appears to be boxes, crates, and large paper banners that seem to be mostly blank. You see one fancy sign that points to a volcano exhibit off towards your left, and in a wonderful little ring, um, around another room, shows arrows point to a local exhibit. In addition, you can see kind of along this back wall here a wonderful painting of the landscape of Veldis City. The large towers and the distinctive landmarks and whatnot kind of going past that. But sure enough, he weaves you through past many of these crates and boxes and a few of the swarthy workers that are hoisting them around, and leads you back off and to the left into this main museum office. And as you step through the front doors, you see yourself a very nice, posh, and clean setup. And you can also see right in the main center, not in the center of the room, center along one wall, is this beautiful matte painting of what appears to be a gentleman and a woman um, that appear to be in their late 50s or so. They're both in very distinguished clothes, and the gentleman in particular has this very kind of striking, severe look to his face. And right underneath is a small little placard that says Antiquarian Owners, Curators, and Directors, Angus and Rose Mackenzie. Past that large portrait, he leads you back into the main office, and sure enough, there are 4 major offices. One for Mr. Angus Mackenzie, the museum curator. Right next to it is one marked for Rose Mackenzie, the art director. Then you see Hugo Montoya's office, the floor manager, and then one for a Thomas Washington, which apparently is the security
personnel.
Chief of security.
Oh.
Security personnel. Yeah, chief of security. Sure enough, he lets you in, and his office is encased in like this kind of frosted glass. He opens up the door, and there are a few soft leather chairs behind a very modest but very well kept and clean desk. He steps behind the desk, but not before he moves to the back of one chair and offers Mila a seat.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, Ellie, a seat.
Thank you.
No problem. While as he circles around to his own seat, he goes, "I'm very sorry, gentlemen. I don't have enough chairs, but I hope you don't mind standing."
No problem.
So, I do have to say, this is a very fortunate meeting. He says, I had been pitching to our owner, Mr. Angus Mackenzie. You might have seen his picture on the wall there. I was trying to pitch to him the idea of having kind of private tours for local businesses or maybe even civic authorities, the police department and whatnot. Because frankly, I believe a lot of people are getting out of touch of the history of Veldis City and the history of the world at large. And it's very important that we need to preserve that. And frankly, the little children that come in on the school trips, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 are very interested, but most of them you can see that it goes in one ear and out the other. So I do have to admit, this would be the first time some sort of private tour would be authorized, but I think I could probably sell it. It wouldn't be that difficult. The only question is that normally our museum would have to be closed for this private tour, so there would need to be some sort of financial compensation, a donation to make it, to offset the hours that we would not be otherwise open. Or if we were to do this in the hours that we don't normally operate, to hire a few staff to stay on for a few extra hours or so. Would you be willing to make that sort of donation?
Let me turn to my financial advisor. She looks over at Tom. Tom!
Huh?
My financial advisor. How's our money situation?
Oh, no, 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 no.
What?
No.
Tom?
No. You ask
Tom,
Patrick. He's going to
Patrick. Why
turn over to
Patrick?
Patrick.
Patrick's the brains.
He's going to lean over to Mila and whisper, "'Cause he told me to stop spending so much money."
Okay. Patrick! You've been promoted! What's
Patrick goes like, "Oh, yeah?"
You see Mr. Montaez look between you, a slightly worried expression on his face.
What's our financial situation?
He moves in his chair a bit. He says, current liquid funds is a bit low at the moment.
Oh. But I'm sure we could come to some sort of agreement, right?
Absolutely.
Sorry, you'll have to forgive me. I don't do so much with the financial advising, but I would really like this to work out.
I see. He says, well, he says, and he almost looks kind of sheepish saying this. I think the easiest way to do this and to convince Mr. Mackenzie of this all is to have you come in maybe during the weekday, sometime after 3 o'clock when we're normally closed. Would a 2-hour tour suffice, or would you want something more?
I think 2 hours. What are you guys feeling? 2 hours?
Since our main exhibit isn't up, 2 hours is more than enough to check out both our other exhibits and even catch a flick or two over in our projection room.
Can I ask what exactly is the Great War?
he gives a big laugh and he leans back in his seat. He goes, "Oh, I enjoy the levity, especially talking over finances. I understand that can be very stressful." Miss, that's very funny.
Yes. I try to be. She looks like she looks nervously over at Patrick.
I just need to figure out if Patrick would. I know what that is.
I know what it is.
I just need to figure out if Patrick knows. I feel like he might know big events like that, but I could be wrong. I could roll for it.
Yeah, I suggest you roll for it, actually.
Let's
Make it
roll some
harder
dice.
by 30.
30. Anything in particular? Anthropology?
And, well, yeah, anthropology, yes.
Okay. Check. Okay. Nope.
Fail by 13?
Yep.
I will see how much you succeed or fail by is important. So you don't know any sort of major details. However, Patrick, you do recall something that happened in recent memory. When you were speaking with... Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Give me a second. I actually messed up on the number. That's supposed to be actually 23 failure, not a 13. My math was off a bit.
Okay. Okay. You remember conversation recently when you went to find Jalea and dealing with the dame, Angela Duvet. You remember her?
Mm-hmm.
And she mentioned something about a Russian empire back before the golden age of man and how they won by sacrificing men and land. All you know for certain is that had to do with a really big war in the past. And something tells you that involves that. Something to do with a Russian empire fighting another nation or maybe several other nations and them almost losing. Yeah. That's as much that I can bring up to your memory without having to go to the library and actually look into that.
Okay.
Anyways, Hugo Hugo settles down a little bit. He says, "Oh, okay. Where were we? Oh, yes. So I believe 2 hours would be sufficient." And with that, he kind of gives a probing question. Would $10 be in your budget?
Let me ask my manager, Lavin.
GM, do we have $10 on us, or
Did you not
I thought
did you not record down how much you got paid for Ellie's singing gig? Did you not write down how many money dollars you got?
I
You
think
know,
that
I
was
probably-
15.
I would think I would. I'm checking
Okay.
notes.
sounds like something that I would forget to do. I play the crazy, so it's fine. It's in character.
No, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't write that down. I don't have any
Okay.
record of
All right.
earning any
You got
money.
paid $20, so you should be okay.
Okay,
Wow.
we have $10.
Woo!
good.
Like, you have it literally on you right now too, because you.
Perfect. I will put that down.
Oh, he says. Oh, I didn't mean this very. Okay, so I'll assume that yes, it is in your budget. Well, he kind of slides the bill back over towards you, laughing. He goes, "Well, we'll just leave." Well, and he pauses for a moment. He takes it back. He goes, "Well, no, maybe I should hold on to this for now. Well, what I'll have to do is contact." Then he trails off for a little bit. He looks outside the window and he looks to the money and he says, "How many people would be coming on this tour? Would it be yourselves and your employees over at the Rhapsody?"
Yeah, that's what I had in mind.
He says,
Frank. We gotta invite Frank. He's a good guy.
"Oh, okay." He says, "I believe in a personal touch. Important. And I could be bothering some of my other employees. I do have a few very, very good tour guides, but I used to start out as a tour guide at the antiquarian, and I have intimate knowledge of pretty much every single exhibit. It would give me a chance to flex my mental muscles, and frankly, it wouldn't hurt. So, what do you say that I become your tour guide? Would that be sufficient to you?"
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yes.
Sounds like we'd be
Good.
getting the best.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much, sir. Well, with this, then, I don't see anything else that might be impeding our way. Um, what day works for you? When would you like this tour?
Oh, let's see. What day is it? Tuesday, is it? Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay.
Just-
How about we aim for how long do you think you would take to brush up on your skills?
He says, "Oh, we could do this right now if you absolutely needed to."
Oh, so you're very brushed up. Okay. Well, let's how about we aim for She looks at the group. Thursday? Wednesday?
Excuse me? What?
Wed-
Could you
Wed-
speak up?
Wednesday? Thursday?
Wednesday as tomorrow?
Thursday. She's like,
No. He says no. Tomorrow would be more than fine, since it's just myself providing the tour. It would be perfect.
Okay, yeah. And you said it would just be like after like 3 when it's closed?
Yes. Let's make it. He pauses for a moment. He goes, "Just one moment. Let me speak with the gentleman outside." And he kind of gives a slight bow and he excuses himself out of the office. And you
Oh,
hear
well,
a little bit of
back.
murmuring. Although Ellie, because of your heightened hearing, you can actually hear the conversation in
Ooh.
total. And the conversation is between two gentlemen, Hugo Montoyes and this gruff voice that you don't know. I won't go through the entire dialogue with you, but it pretty much boils down to him asking what time Mr. Angus Mackenzie hired these gentlemen to set up the Great War exhibit tomorrow on Wednesday, and they said they'd be working straight when the shop closes at 3 o'clock till about 9 o'clock in the evening, in which Hugo says, "Oh, well, I don't think that's absolutely necessary. How about you and your gentlemen come in after," he says, 6 o'clock, work 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And then the gentleman says, "Well, I don't understand why we would be, they'd be losing time and they get behind schedule." And you can hear Hugo kind of nervously kind of reason and barter with the gentleman until finally he asks, he pretty much probes if financial compensation for them not coming in for those few hours, about 3 hours or so, would be if he'd be amenable to it. And sure enough, promising them a couple dollars, the gruff gentleman does admit that, they could probably catch up on the time. And Hugo just makes sure that the other gentleman doesn't tell Angus McLaughlin about any of this, that they'll just keep it between them, in which the gruff voice agrees. Sure enough, Hugo steps back into the office, all smiles. He goes, "Well, excellent news. I just checked with the gentleman there, and I didn't want their moving to kind of get in your way of anything. And we've been able to make some room for you. If you want to come in, we'll say perhaps around 4 o'clock for a few hours. I can make sure that the museum is mostly empty. Of course, we'll do have some security personnel from time to time, but he pauses for a moment as a moment of realization grips his face as he says, "But it won't be a problem."
Okay, perfect. Yeah, sounds great.
Good, good. Says with a wide smile. As he takes the $10 and just puts it in the drawer in his desk. "Well, I want to thank you very much for your donation, and we'll see you and your staff promptly at." "Oh, wait," he says. "Maybe you shouldn't use the main entrance. A large group such as yourself shouldn't be waiting on the street. That's not very fair." He goes, "No, no, no. I know. We have some secondary parking around the side. If you just go down the alley that you probably saw on your left, you can drive your cars down the alley there. There's secondary parking typically for employees, but if you park there at 4 o'clock, most of the employees will be gone. There'll be nice space, and I'll meet you in the back entrance. I'll give you kind of a behind the scenes tour, something that our regular folks don't see all the time."
Oh, well, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
"Good, good," he says. Wonderful. Well, allow me to walk you back to the entrance, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow."
Sounds great.
Good.
Cool.
And sure enough, Hugo. Oh, unless you had any questions for him, Hugo Montoyas will happily escort you all to the main entrance, and thank you very much for visiting before closing the door. Unless you had any other questions.
I didn't.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
You're back out on the street.
That went well, right?
Good work, Ellie.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good.
Better than I expected.
I thought I messed it up, but I did really well. All right, so where do you guys want to go?
I'm gonna give my own character a mental check just to find out if he actually knows what the flip's going on. Oh yeah, he's fine. He's a smart cookie.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. So where do you guys want to go?
Should we fill in the rest of the staff that they're going on a trip tomorrow?
yeah, we can
Yes.
definitely do that.
Well,
Yes,
there
we-
might, as Patrick's walking down the street with the group. Well, that's not entirely necessary. We have a lot of things we can work with. He turns to Ellie. I know you don't particularly like, he like stops for a second. Bad men? People who don't do things on the up and up.
Bad men, people who... Right, yeah.
So, from what I've caught from this particular exchange, it looks like he's not really going through the normal means. As he first pulled the bill back and forth, it was him considering an alternative to so much money. As he then like squints a bit, and it's just like, I assume that it would be that much if he went through all those bells and whistles to try to do that. What we could do is bring all of our people to do exactly what he wants, but inform maybe the higher up of the museum or the police and get them on our good side. Maybe we can actually get a favor through that. Maybe a small rental to examine the particular statue.
But I don't quite understand. How is that not on the up and up? We gave him money. He's gonna give us a tour. It's what we wanted.
But he's giving us a tour of the museum that money is supposed to go to. He's probably going to keep it for himself.
Yeah, instead of giving it to the museum, he's just putting it in his pocket.
Well...
Oh, why do I care where the money goes if he gets it at the museum? It's just really but.
Well, Patrick is bringing up the idea of maybe we could use that information to our advantage. Because we're going to need to physically examine the statue.
We might have a better way of physically examining the statue going through the back door than going through the proper authorities. I'm easy either way. I'm just...
Well, examination's not the problem. It's more of we need to actually get our hands on it and bring it to the rest of the statues. Actually, my first idea was actually to bring... to have an exchange of... we say, we would like to borrow this statue, and for exchange, we'll give you 2 statues back. Because they seem to want their... they seem to want them for educational purposes, or at least a better pull for their museum.
What statues would we give them?
We'd have to talk to the nice man we talked to in his mansion, but as long as he finds out the great mystery, I don't think he would mind giving one up when the puzzle pieces are all together.
But if we give one, then, or we give 2 and we just have 1, then we're worse than we were before?
True, as long as we have all of 7 together at one time, we don't need to keep them.
But how do we get the other 2 back?
Yeah, again, getting our hands on this thing, it seems like a backdoor guy would be better than the authorities.
Again, this is my original thought, and we would do it after we got the other 3. Or 4.
4.
So basically, let's worry about the other 4 first, anyways, right?
We can definitely do that. But I'm saying at this point, we could try to ask for a favor if we went through the other means, but what do you guys think?
What if we just do the tour, did I say tomorrow? I think I said tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow. And
then instead of sabotaging it straight away, if we don't get the information we need, all of us. Sorry, not focusing on those volcanoes or anything, but I'm kind of excited. And we don't get the information, we send a personal thank you to the owners.
I kind of like that. I like leaving options open. The other thing too is you can investigate what. See, like before we actually say, "Oh, there's a filthy guy at the museum" or whatever, it'd be nice to know possibly what we're gaining. Like, what does the authorities have to offer us? Do they have somehow control over another one of these items or something? if we could communicate with them and be terribly vague about the entire situation, it might be all right.
Maybe we can have our private investigator take a look at possible.
Ooh, there's a good.
Yeah, he could do the work for us.
Yeah, I like that.
Patrick nods a bit and goes, he can do that, yes. If you want to see the volcanoes and all of this,
I really do.
What we can do is maybe more of a, he pauses to find the word sting. Basically, we catch him in the act, so after we go through the exhibit, proving that that's what he was trying to do, then the police can. Anyway.
You're a good guy, Patrick. You're a good guy.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're a good guy. But I really want to see that volcano exhibit. So, we'll keep our eyes open. We'll have all of our gang with us. I mean, and they're all, for the most part, trained in secret espionage type things. So maybe they can also keep their eyes open if they see something suspicious with that feller.
Patrick nods.
Is it really good to make a guy and then betray him?
We're not betraying him. We're just covering our behinds.
We're keeping our options open, as you said earlier. Wink.
Hey, I never said I was good. I'm just saying.
Your heart shrunk 2 sizes that day. Okay. So now that you guys have a general plan, do you guys want to head to the Rhapsody and kind of let your other friends know what the plan is? They probably don't even know about this whole Eugene. I almost said Eugene Levy.
I know. It was
Eugene Neal 7 statues kind of quest that you're on. All they know about is you want to find this golden rabbit for Tyras so he can help you guys out down the line. Yeah. Anyways, do you guys want to head back to the Rhapsody and get some rest? Did you want to head someplace else? Do you want to head to Dex Delaney's offices? What's up?
We only hired him today.
Exactly. You hired him earlier on in the morning, so I doubt he's going to have anything, a big lead just yet.
I do have a question.
He's just that good.
This library that we were at earlier, did it have a collection of newspapers?
Yes.
What we could do is we could spend an hour or two at the library trying to find quotes of a monkey statue, a sparrow statue, an octopus statue, or a fox statue, and try and find cookie crumbs. It would be fairly difficult, I would imagine, because it would just be information out of the blue, but there's a chance.
It's an idea.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. Just so you know, Ellie would be looking up volcanoes, but...
Oh, no, that's completely fine.
Okay.
Good.
Right.
I think that would be nice.
Okay. Yeah. You return to the library, so we're going to make this just kind of a simple skill check. I'm going to have everyone who's actively searching through these periodicals to do. So in order for me to properly crunch the numbers, how you'd be getting to the library, it'd be probably just before 5 o'clock. All right? You guys probably haven't eaten dinner yet or anything just yet. But how many hours do you want to spend browsing through these periodicals for any sort of reference to Eugene Neal's other statue? 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours?
I think a maximum of 2 before we want to go back to the Rhapsody and get some food.
Okay. So 2 hours worth of searching. Flipping through the articles. Ellie's going to be looking at volcanoes, so that really just leaves 4 people, because we're going to include Al in this. Al, okay. Patrick, Tom, and Lavin, right?
I doubt Lavin would have the patience to look through periodically.
I was about to say that it's pretty grueling work. Okay,
yeah,
so
like
that's
20-30 minutes. I'd be like, I'm tired.
Like rubbing his eyes.
Look at the volcanoes with me.
Sure,
it's
I'd
a picture book.
Go with Ellie. That sounds more entertaining, right?
Ellie does find a child's pop-up picture book on science, and one of them has to do with volcanoes, and
they make these things pop up.
So... Look at this. So cute.
So cute.
Science never ceases to amaze.
It's coming at you, Lavin.
So with 3 gentlemen for only 2 hours, you know what? Let's make it fair. I have the threshold in my mind already, but I'm not going to disclose it because I think it's better that way. I would like Patrick and Tom to roll a D100, and I'll roll a D100 for Al's character as well.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure how much of a plus I get for being just lots of reading and book smarts and whatnot, but
for the experience,
for all of this, but like I will probably give myself a personal negative because he would also be looking through it, and then if anything catches his eye, he'll probably want to know more about it.
Okay, yeah.
Too much useless information.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. There might be an article on like this great war, and then you'd be thinking, oh wait, yeah, now that sounds familiar, and then he's going to okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to have those bonuses and penalties knock each other out. So okay. I think just a straight D100 roll for each of you, I think, is fair.
It's TV tropes, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm lost on TV tropes. What's happening?
So dangerous.
Oh man.
So dangerous. Oh Jesus! Are you serious? You rolling? Oh God damn it, Patrick! God damn it!
First
you know
book,
what the
first
threshold
page.
was? The threshold was 5. I said the chance of them coming across any useful information in 2 hours, I'm like, that is a small amount of time. They'll have to get a 5 or less. And goddamn Patrick got a goddamn 1. So not only is he going to find something, he's going to find something really big, too. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn your awesome 1.
Glorious.
No, I'm glad that I suggested this.
You're not going to need Dex Delaney for shit now. At least not yet. Okay.
Oh,
So, for lack of a better word, Patrick, as Lavin starts going through the first 3 minutes and getting frustrated, Tom has a little bit more of a focal mind, as does Al. Al starts with articles from between 10 and 20 years ago, as does Tom, but there's just so many volumes, and it's not just one newspaper. There are 3 different major newspapers in Velda City. So you figure the best way is to each of you take an edition apiece and see what you can find. This is a big mountain to climb, but for whatever reason, we can call it luck, we can call it providence, or perhaps fate. But Patrick, you would take a what appears to be a random piece of one of the papers, just to kind of see what's going on. And sure enough, there's a clue, or there's something that leads to another thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then sure enough, you are following news specifically having to deal with Eugene Neal. You're deducing the days and the journalist who's writing these articles about Eugene Neal, and you're able to hunt down other articles and other articles until you find an entire spread, an entire section of this journalist, a fellow named John Ross, who for a period of 1.5 years, many of his articles has to do with people's search of the Golden Rabbit, and a lot of it is just junk. You know, it's Miss Fleming thought she found the clue based on a mathematical formula, but turned out to be wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Kind of gossip column stuff. But some of it is very interesting. because it does deal with other sculptures. The first major clue is an obituary for a woman named Dorothy Neal, Eugene Neal's wife. She passed away 3 years ago from the current date, so 9 years after her husband committed suicide and disappeared with this golden rabbit. And in addition to the details of when the funeral will be held, what the service is, and so forth, it also makes a note that she always supported and loved her husband, regardless of how his mental state degenerated over the last years of his life. And since his remains were never found, she wanted to be buried with a piece of his work. And she was buried with a monkey statuette, a final gift of his to her before he disappeared. So the first clue is that the monkey statuette is believed to be buried with Eugene Neal's wife, Dorothy Neal. Luckily, the obituary does state the cemetery in which she's buried, Pioneer Fields funeral, I guess. What do you call it? Graveyard. Pioneer Fields Graveyard. And there's another bit of information as well. Patrick, still following this John Ross reporter. Give me a second, actually. I gotta just cut and paste names so I'm not reusing them later on. John Ross.
We're going grave robbing.
Sure enough, John Ross. Now this is 5 years ago. And you can tell, Patrick, that this Golden Rabbit quest lasted for a year and a half with a frenzy. And a few more years it still used to pop up from time to time. And 5 years after Eugene Neal disappeared, it kind of started to peter out. With the exception of something that was posted 7 years ago, in which Dorothy Neal was auctioning off sections of her estate to her and her late husband's estate in order to pay for what appears to be some significant legal bills and government taxes. And because of that, many of her husband's possessions were being auctioned off. And one of these items landed in the hands of a fellow named Albert Sweet, a very popular man who's the owner of the Grand Quarry Mining Group, as well as a few other industrial enterprises within Velda City. With lack of a better word, this Albert Sweet gentleman is high society. He's a Rockefeller. He's an industrial captain. And he walked away with a very fetching sparrow statue, which he paid a huge amount of money for. 10 times more than any other piece of art or possession that was in the auction itself. $5,000, which is absolutely huge. Apparently, there's a big hubbub about it, right? There are rumors, gossip, that Dorothy Neal and this Albert Sweet individual had an affair, and he purposely overbid on the sparrow to make sure Dorothy Neal would end up with a lot of money because he wanted to see her well, and this is a really legitimate, easy way to give her cash by looking like, he's buying something of art. But yeah, those are what you managed to suss out in the newspaper. I can repeat that information if you guys need it.
That's a lot. That's some good info.
Yeah.
No, this is good. No, actually, I don't mind it at all. I like that. So I don't understand why I curse and I get angry so much. Oh, you guys are rolling so well.
Like, part of you has to be like, well, okay.
I guess you just find it out because you're geniuses. Don't worry, there's still the octopus and the fox. I didn't give you all the information yet.
It's true.
We gotta follow this down to the very end. But yeah.
Now, guess Patrick would probably be able to memorize this. It'd be easier to have a clipping or a copy.
You can try to take a copy or a clipping of it.
Surely you can
you
find
don't
a
see
Xerox
the library
machine, right?
around, but you don't
Do you
know
have
if
your
that's
camera?
proper.
Oh yeah, I do have a camera. Oh boy.
Yeah, but it's
You have to get it developed.
Funky thing, yeah.
I do have a sketchbook. I can just write these things down.
Oh right, he can probably just handwrite this. Never mind.
Holy shit,
Wow.
we can write with pens.
Pencil,
Mind
pencil,
blown.
sir.
Pencils,
Pencil.
whatever.
I guess that he
If
will
only
just
there was a
perfect-
way for us to copy down information onto a portable piece of paper, but unfortunately that technology is beyond us. Get out your camera.
Sweet.
No, use it. Make sure that okay. What Tom needs to do is try to convince Mila. Okay, bear with me. And I'm just gonna go out there because I'll waste a lot of time. So Patrick will definitely just what?
It's a joke.
Okay.
Patrick will use his notepad and his. Oh jeez.
Is literacy?
I'm just trying to. I was reading down his particular what he has for writing things. I'm like, mechanical pencil. Do they have mechanical pencils?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. So
What do I pull
wouldn't
out?
now.
Oh, okay. And use his notepad and pencil to write this down.
Great. You write down all the necessary and pertinent information, addresses, names.
I'll also
Details.
take the date and also who published this, what the newspapers and so on.
John Ross.
John Ross. Neat.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, pencil.
It's a good invention, isn't it?
Okay. All right. I would call your second visit to the effing library a resounding success.
Yes.
What would you guys like to do now? Head back to the Rhapsody, get something to eat, debrief your friends on what's going on, what you figured out?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think
Wonderful.
now is the time to do that.
Yeah.
If Lavin can pull himself away from pop-up books.
Yeah, this entire time,
I
Ellie's
know.
sitting there closing it. Open it back up!
It's even worse because there's this little tab on the side, and if you pull on it a little bit, it makes it look like the lava is moving, shaking down the thing right now.
Spooky.
I know exactly how to get Lavin to come with us.
Lead me around instead of a carrot on a stick, you've got a pop-up book on a stick.
I was gonna say a bottle of alcohol on the stick.
Yeah, I
You
was
put
gonna
him in
say,
the
hey,
kids
want a
section with
drink?
beer. Every place in this time period serves alcohol. I guarantee you. Find a library in an house.
Schools.
Yeah, they probably
Schools
would.
serve alcohol.
Right.
I'm gonna Google this right now.
That's not true. Libraries don't have alcohol.
I bet they
Yeah.
did.
They should.
Okay, so I'm gonna just hit some kind of major narrative points with you guys, if that's okay. So you drive back to the Rhapsody, thankfully without incident or accident again. You get yourself something to eat up. Oh wait, I'll bring you guys actually over to the Rhapsody.
Woo.
Rhapsody, the backstage area. living area. You gather up all your friends, August, Lee, Alicia, Bear, the rest.
Go on.
Yeah,
This is a Gilligan's Island. You can't leave anyone out.
Are you serious? Okay.
It's actually really funny how oddly futuristic the top left looks.
Top
Like
left
like
image.
this. Yeah, it looks like it's like got this like retro futuristic vibe to it. Anyway, maybe it's
retro future.
like all like
yeah,
Jetsons kind of thing.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like in old sci-fi movies. They would always kind of have like that curtain in the background.
Yeah.
For, like science.
Anyway, you get together with your friends. You let them know what they've learned. And a bit of advice is, especially when you. I'm assuming you don't leave anything out with your friends, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
I would be willing to tell them everything. I don't know about you guys.
Shifty eyes.
Patrick would be explicit and like, and then I just saw them climb up the wall, and then one of them cut down a door.
Mhm.
One of them came back with a wine bottle. He certainly came back. He didn't have when he started.
So basically, it's like how we usually tell our adventures that we never role play because it would take too much time. But like, the NPCs know the drill by this point.
Yeah, kind of at this point.
Yeah, how outlandish we describe things and how things actually went down.
How Ellie will start embellishing different things.
Patrick is definitely the complainer.
Well, Marlis and Lee, when you both talk about when Patterson mentioned evil and sinister powers and a magic item that actually produces color, like real true blue color, they both caution, they both advise caution, for lack of a better word, due to the this very place is steeped in some sort of magical undertones. Pushing too far into that, they don't know. For lack of a better word, you don't know everything that this dimension has to offer. So if you start chasing down a paranormal route, things could get dangerous. But that's pretty much their main caution. Marlis and August are extremely excited about this whole museum tour, whereas Ezex and Basilisk are both like, do we have to come? Because we like being at this bar.
Lavin tries to explain to them that there are pop-up books on Vulcan.
They have no idea what you're talking about. But
Tom will tell them.
But if Lavin thinks it's good enough to go, then I guess they would go too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Tom will say that it's not necessary if they're more interested in potentially looking into grave robbing.
With that, Julia says, "What?"
You guys should definitely go grave robbing. In fact, I wish I could join you, but I should probably go to the museum.
Patrick goes like, I have been trying to figure out how to go around this without grave robbing, and the only thing I can think of is maybe trying to relocate her particular body next to her husband, which was be her original wishes.
We're just relocating her body, man. Just settle down.
We just stumbled upon her grave. We
dug her up. Settle down.
Do it. No, I'm talking like, if we get accosted digging up a grave to move the corpse. Or are you talking legally have her moved?
Well, the whole desecrating a dead place is bad. Last time I checked,
considered like not a good person thing to do.
She was buried in a tomb, by the way, too. So if that makes things any better.
Like she's not like she's above ground.
Yeah, she's above ground in a tomb, a mausoleum.
Plus, I mean, we can't we can't relocate her to her husband's grave because her husband's body has not been found.
Yeah, we got, and the only way you can find it is with
it's
this.
the catch-22. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well.
So, although the NPC, I'm going to just say the NPCs, if that's okay, just for now.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They are going to ask if the purpose of the museum visit is to case out the joint because you plan on stealing it, or what's the objective? What's the goal of going on this tour?
It'll be difficult to steal an entire museum.
And plus, to steal the statue.
Yeah.
The entire museum.
I can totally imagine Yasmin just staring him down.
Yeah, because that's what's happening right now.
Here, I'll be right back. You guys go on.
Problem.
Okay.
Lavin suddenly transformed troll. Just kidding. Yeah. Okay.
So, yes, our two goals, which I would like to do both, but kind of like size a bit. One of our goals is to go and look at the volcano exhibit.
Because it's what Mila wants to do.
Several times. What's so special about volcanoes?
Mila wants to go to the volcano exhibit.
Yeah.
Oh, she says. I guess I explained, like, she think, like, just out of interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when you said goals, I thought you meant, like, objectives.
Let's just say it's an objective at this point, because our second one is to get the statue in one way or another.
Okay. And she nods, and Alicia asks, all right, so, is there any way that we could buy the statue off of him?
From what I can tell, it is still a famous art piece from a very high-end artist. We probably don't have... We have enough funds to look at it.
Yeah.
But you physically need it, right?
Yeah, we physically need it. We have a feeling that this guy who we paid admission to is going to pocket the money instead of give the money to the museum like he was thinking, or that like he was saying. So we could try to blackmail this guy, or get the cops involved or something.
We could blackmail him.
Well, yeah.
If we actually find any kind of evidence that he's actually doing this, we could blackmail him so that we actually, at some point in time, get our hands on this thing. Or else we turn him over.
Basically, the idea is we need all of these statues in the same place at the same time, one time. Where they go after that it doesn't really matter as much. If the monkey statue goes back into the widow's casket, that's great. If the bull goes right back on display, that's great.
I see. So the objective is to hoist this man his own petard. You assume since he's corrupt, or at least shady, he would let you in. You say, now that you let us in, we don't want to let your bosses know, so let us have this statue for a short period of time. You'd be borrowing it?
Yeah. I assume we would probably say something along the lines of for educational and research purposes. But we are hoping to maybe get on a good side to maybe strike a better deal than just confronting them with nothing.
I see. He says that, I suppose, could work. I suppose the only downside is that perhaps he doesn't play ball or calls your bluff. Then, or
is
maybe
it a bluff?
He'll feel guilty. Well, perhaps not. He says. Yes, well, I get the only other thing that I can think of, says Marla Stotch, is I know this from personal experience, although I never ran a museum, I did have a collection of things. For some people, it's just the basics of trade, I suppose. I guess I learned this from Daniel Perrin, is if you want something, you offer something that person has that they want even more.
Patrick gives a bit of a small grimace. It looks like they're very unwilling to barter for any means. You see, an extremely wealthy man seems to also want that particular statue and has been turned down at every opportunity, even though he can give them the world in most cases.
Well, here's something too. Now that you mention it, if we happen to get our hands on one of these other statues, because at the end of the day, we don't need them, right? We only need them together once. We're not planning on taking these things with us. So we could offer, if we get another statue, we'll give you this statue. We just need yours for a little bit, and then you get both at the end of the day.
Oh, right? I see.
Patrick slowly turns his head to Lavin. That's what I said. That is exactly what I said earlier.
Oh, I must have misapprehended your purpose. Something.
Oh, speaking of statues, says Lavin. says Marlis to Lavin.
I said what?
No. Says Marlis to Lavin, and he points to like the falcon statue that's in Lavin's hand. What?
Oh,
what is that?
Yeah, I think it's Rex. Look, he has this funny helmet. I said I think it's Rex. I think look, he has this funny helmet. So they made him a helmet, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did. He goes,
so
but he's stone.
That's true. He's stone. But I mean, what are the odds of there being any like? This has got to be Rex.
Yes.
You seen any birds around with helmets in your travels? Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him, but maybe when we get out of here, he'll just like, poofo back to normal, or something. For the time being, he can make an interesting bardic.
Yeah, I suppose, says Lee. But if you're comfortable with it, maybe you could give him to me. I could kind of check it out. If there was magic involved in turning him into stone, I might be able to maybe reverse it.
Hey, if there's any magic involved, I'd be more than happy to pass it your way.
Okay. Because you hand over the statue of Rex.
Yeah.
To Lee. Is there anything else that the NPCs need to confer you? Nope. I think we're good. So yeah, everyone is in agreement. Thankfully, they'll have to kind of rush over to the Rhapsody, or you guys will have to rush over to the Rhapsody right after the tour because that's when the opening hours kind of start. But it should be no problem. Should be absolutely no problem.
Sweet.
Patrick would bring up, so what should we tell the investigator since we are looking for one statue and we are now converting our search to other ones?
Maybe we give him all the information we have?
Hey, if we start telling him now we're looking for 7 statues instead of 1, he might charge us. Mind you, I guess I don't really care about these dollars. Yeah, let's tell him.
Well, technically, right now we're only looking for 2. The fox and the octopus. Because we know the whereabouts of the monkey and the sparrow. We know where the bull is. We know exactly where the turtle and rhino are.
The NPCs do say that if Dex Delaney does come by the Rhapsody and you guys are out, they'll take down the information that he has. Let's see. Alicia suggests that there's no point. You hired him to find the golden rabbit. Maybe if you just leave him alone, maybe he'll find the rabbit on its own, or a major lead that leads you directly to the rabbit, rather than cluttering things up with a statue. She says it's like attacking someplace from 2 angles, right? You're going down one path, and maybe he's going down his other. And
yeah,
if
different
he's falling down the same path you are, then all the merrier. It's his business, really, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a valid viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alicia gives a confident smile. Well, with that, my friends, are there any little role plays that you guys would like to do in the Rhapsody or amongst yourselves over the evening or anything like that? Anything you want to? Okay, wonderful.
Ellie's gonna hunt down Alicia.
Okie dokie. You'll find her back behind the bar, just for the sake of this little scene here. Back behind the bar, fiddling with one of these large, clunky cash registers. And she has kind of a paper ledger in front of her, and you hear her muttering and trying to, like, count these bills and losing count and trying again a second time, and then you come on back, and she puts the bills down and is almost thankful for the interruption. She looks and gives a smile. She goes, "Oh, hey, Ellie."
Hi. Hey, question. Does this place have like a storage closet that has like a mop and a broom and cleaning supplies? I'm mostly looking for cleaning supplies.
Oh, she says, yeah. What do they call it? A janitor closet.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
case spills and stuff like that. Yeah, sure. Follow me, she says. And she says, we found that out because Ezek started rummaging around and he drank half a container of something called Bletch. It did not make him feel. He puked like crazy, so we've had to use the mop.
He bletched afterwards.
Maybe that's why they call it that.
It's the sound he made when he drank it.
Maybe he did make a lot of sounds after he drank that. But yeah, sure enough, just beyond the bar, off into this little corner, by one of the bathrooms actually, is sure enough a janitor closet. It has some safety cones, these big gray cones, but 4 mops. One of them looks wet and used. Some mop buckets, big metal mop buckets. Some cleaning supplies, some in like these little spray bottles, wooden spray bottles, some of them in these large plastic containers. And she says, there you go. Whatever you do, don't drink any of it.
I won't. Okay, here I go. I'm grabbing all of this stuff. She says, like, lifting up and, like, trying to, like, balance, like, buckets, like, on her arms and,
very unwieldy.
Carrying everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I should mention, she's doing this, like, super late well, not super late at night, but, like...
in the evening.
Yeah.
After closing time.
Yes, yeah, but, like, I mean, it's very late, and, like, she'll start walking down the hallway and heading towards the front door if no one's around or if anyone's around and wants to inquire.
Tom wouldn't be.
I would, but I think I've taken up a lot of the scenes so far.
Well, I have too, but I'm fishing for more.
Okay.
It's whatever's fun for you guys. There's no counter. There's no...
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, don't.
Scene away. Go for it, you diva, you.
All right.
Do a flip.
Patrick waddles over and asks, I should probably be more serious about this.
Yeah.
Patrick notices Mila carrying a lot of odd supplies and inquires, Mila, did Nora, or Ellie,
Whoever's in there.
Ellie, what she is doing.
Hey, oh, thank goodness you're here, Patrick. Can you hold on to some of these buckets? And she'll, like, hand over, like, it's not that she can't lift it, it's like
Cluttered.
big,
Cumbersome.
yeah, it's clunky, cumbersome.
It's volume. Yeah, cumbersome. Nice.
Do you want to go visit Frank with me?
All right. All right, who's Frank first?
Frank was the crazy guy we met.
Oh,
Wait, we met a crazy guy?
Frank Patterson, the
the schizophrenic guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
The question was
Tahiki death powder.
I'm on board. I get it. Yeah, shut in guy. Okay.
No, a long time I've been calling him Patterson, so I understand.
I see. I only remember his name's Frank because it's always sunny.
Oh my God! No, he doesn't look anything like him, but he behaves a little bit like him. Oh my God!
The trash man.
If you find a toe knife, run. Oh, there goes Lavin.
So the question was, do you want to see Frankie?
Yeah, do you want to come to Frank's house with me?
He looks around the I'm assuming bar entrance or whatnot, the club entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes,
club entrance. There you go.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing how he's doing.
Perfect. I thought while we were there we could help clean up the place. It was pretty gross.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and we got to invite him for tomorrow.
He was about to say yeah, and then he stops for a second. We're inviting him?
Yeah, to the field trip. Why wouldn't he? I mean, it might take some convincing, and it's going to take a lot of convincing. But ultimately, he's our best bet for finding this thing. He's most intelligent, and he can tell if this guy that you think is what did you call him? Off evil, bad guy, not good guy. If he's telling us the truth or not, he might be good to have around.
Oh my goodness.
True. Two things about this.
Yeah.
So he's probably contacted the museum a lot, and they probably know of him, and generally maybe on the maybe not so good side. That's generally maybe a problem number one, but definitely a problem. He doesn't leave his house.
Number one, he doesn't leave his house. Wait, that was number two. Number two, he doesn't leave his house. Number one, they haven't seen him because he doesn't leave his house. They recognize him by his voice. Oh, maybe if we give him a shave, then he'll look completely different. We'll give him a makeover. Patrick, you're brilliant.
Oh my God. You still got to convince him to leave his house.
Well, if he's passionate enough about what he's trying to work for, then
Patrick kind of rolls his shoulders holding the buckets and then starts walking out the door.
Well, now Tom is here too, and I believe Lavin is as well. I'll have to ask Lavin when Spyro when he comes back. But
yeah. I don't want to digress.
No, I don't care. You know what? We did not. We also thought getting a cat out of a tree was, we'll take as much time as these scenes need, because let's not stress about it, right? As long as people are having fun, who cares what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, giving a makeover to an old man sounds like a good time to me.
This is insane. But this is great because I did not anticipate this at all. So this is going to be very interesting.
I wanted to ask you about it before the session, and then I forgot. So I was like, well, I'll roll with it, and if he has a problem with it, he'll tell me.
He can deal with it. Well, before y'all, I want to make sure Lavin is here before you guys head over to Frank's place late at night. This is going to be amazing.
I was waiting for someone to be like, don't you think Frank is asleep? And Ellie to be like, he's like me. He's awake.
Patrick's not worried if he'll be asleep. He could be asleep or awake. He will be awake when we get there, because Ellie will not allow him to be asleep. I know this.
But Ellie will stress that they have to take a very long route.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Lavin. So Ellie and Patrick and Tom, loaded with cleaning supplies, want to go ahead and visit Frank Patterson's place. One, to help clean up, but two, to kind of convince him to come along to this museum tour tomorrow. Did you want to come with? I mean, he still has that really nice wine down in his basement.
Well, I was thinking of pilfering pilfering something to repay him, because I was just gonna. I didn't care about stealing his wine. I just thought this would be a way to convince him. So maybe I can repay him by grabbing something from the Rhapsody as an offering of sort. Maybe we have some kind of vintage wine or port or something.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, you would have a port. Because of with the opening of the chief of police and the mayor coming on by, over the past few evenings, you have had some high-falutin customers, and they hire expensive, well-to-do drinks. So the bar is stocked, thanks to Alicia and Basilisk, and less to an extent Ezex's efforts. You are able. The bar is well stocked, and we're gonna say a really nice bottle of port. A very good vintage. I don't know a lot about port, so we're gonna just say it's high quality and kind of just leave it at that.
I will pretend to help clean to some degree.
Well, first we have to get you there. So sure enough,
right.
You're all there's enough of you. We're gonna say Al is talking with Jalea. This time, Jalea and Rose and a few of the other NPCs planning out things for tomorrow and dealing with personal stuff of a personal nature. So he won't come along on this one. Mm-hmm. Although he does ask you to check on the door and see if it's repaired or not, because he still feels kind of bad about that. Sorry, I'm assuming he feels bad about that. If Squee, if you're listening and Al isn't, whatever, let me know.
Al's like, fuck that guy.
It's Al. Guilt is like second.
I'm making poor Squee's migraine worse. He's like, stop playing my character. Anyway.
How weird would it be if Squee was like, no, fuck that guy?
Maybe.
You know,
I wouldn't Anyway, we're digressing on our digression. You all bundle up all these cleaning supplies, almost everything out of the Rhapsody. But you better hope there isn't an accident over the night or something. You put it in the trunk of one of these large vintage vehicles, and you drive on over. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You park in front of the townhouse, and sure enough, you do see a large. Where the front door was appears to be kind of like this large section of cork board that's covering it, kind of construction cork board as a way to kind of seal things off. And the door knocker is gone, seems to be nailed shut, and much of the estate itself is dark, with the exception of one light shining out of the 3rd floor window, very top of the building.
Ellie, you want to climb up and break in the window?
First of all, we should probably hide the car. I'm worried about the people finding the car and being suspicious. So, you work on that. And Ellie, seriously, with a very serious face, turns and walks into the building and begins climbing it.
Okay, climb check, please.
You got it, dude.
Oh, sorry, Tom. I just saw your plus mark now. What's up?
Oh.
I was going to say Tom was planning on probably spending some time with Blink. Would she be interested in coming with?
Sure. Yeah. She'll come with. So Blink's here too.
Right.
She's just like, this is not what I thought you meant when you said hang out.
to balk at the idea of Ellie climbing extremely well. Before Blink kind of whispers, and she's like, maybe we should just knock on the front wood door thing, whatever. But at this point, Ellie, she knows all the secrets to this building now. She is just climbing nimbly bimbly up the brick surface without a care in the world. You'll get up to the 3rd floor window within, we'll say, about 30 seconds or so. In the meantime, Lavin and or Patrick, both of you have the driving skill. What do you guys want to do with the car? All the cleaning stuff is still in the trunk too.
I'm sorry. I'm missing something. Why are we suspicious about the cars?
I don't know. That's what Ellie said.
You guys need to think like a fucking crazy person. My God.
Okay. Okay. Well, I thought you had a legit thing. So
No,
Lavin, like,
I do. Okay.
puts his head out the window and looks over towards Patrick's car, like, the hell she's talking about?
If you're fucking paranoid that you're being watched by some evil corporation, and they see a random car in front of your estate, not once but twice in the same day, they're gonna think something's up. They're gonna be suspicious of you. We're trying to help him out and keep it inconspicuous. We promised him that. Ellie's honoring that promise. She's a noble person. Vote for Ellie.
Lavin does a U-turn and parks the car on the other street.
Okay, all right, excellent. Doing a U-turn, Lavin parks the vehicle on the other side of the street, and Blink, giving up on trying to talk Ellie down, crosses the street to help the rest of you gentlemen haul the cleaning supplies. The next scene I have in mind is Ellie reaching the window. Is there anything you fellows on the ground would like to do in the meantime? Or anything specific you'd like to say, or any actions you'd like to do?
I would like to say, this is exactly how it happened earlier today.
Blink,
exactly like this.
Blink turns to her bow, and she says, "You told me that he chased her around with a giant gun and sprayed powder into Lavin's face and tried to crush Al with a chandelier."
It was just sneezing powder.
Oh.
He's harmless.
Oh. Okay. Well, you guys dealt with him before. I'm smart enough to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it works, don't mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a heads up if he starts to act out of the ordinary.
Sounds
good.
If
you see him pull out an elephant gun, I suggest finding cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she says, blinking more rapidly than usual, which is a lot, as you guys cross the street. Sure enough, Ellie, the blinds are completely closed, but from the edges of the blinds, you see this soft light resonating through the blinds and through the glass window. You've reached the ledge of the window itself.
Ellie will put her face so it's like kind of smushing up against the glass, and she'll whisper, "Frank! Frank! Psst, Frank!"
You hear a little bit of shuffling on the other end, and then you hear his high tinny voice say, "Is that me or is that not me?"
No, it's me, Ellie. Hi, outside the window again.
Just a moment, he says, as you hear soft foot pats run off. And then soft foot pats come.
She's gonna go to the like kind of move away from the window in case he pulls out the gun again.
As you move your head out the window, you hear little thump 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 noises, and sure enough, you see the edges of the blind start to move. They get pushed aside, but you don't see a hand or a face, but the barrel of a very large gun pushing the blind away. Sure enough, once the blind is pushed away, you can see his gray, disheveled face kind of peer out into the distance, and he says, and it looks down, and I'm assuming Ellie is still, like, clinging on to the ledge, just...
Yeah.
And he sees you,
"Hi."
and he kind of gives a little, oh, it's you.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness. You're very high.
Well, that's kind of how I roll. Do you mind if we come in?
Oh, what? Oh, emergency! Emergency! Have they found you already?
No. Nope. This is just a friendly greeting because we got good news. If you don't mind us coming in.
Oh, about the 7?
Well, I mean, it's nothing substantial. I don't want to get your hopes up, but it is something. We want to tell you about it.
News.
It's definitely not bad news, but
Okay.
Well, let me just come inside.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
no, I'm not opening. No, go back down. Go back down. There's a secondary entrance just around the building. The door's still being repaired. Use the back patio door, okay?
Okay, Frank. By
Okay.
the way, we brought mops and stuff. We just want to
Why?
improve your quality of life. It's pretty dusty in there, Frank. That can't be good for your lungs.
He narrows his eyes a little bit and he says, "We'll talk about that." and he closes the blind and you hear little thump, 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 thump noises.
Ellie gives a thumbs up to the crew below, and she will.
I gotta know, what are you wearing?
Oh, so this time Ellie is she changed out of her ball gown because that was just uncomfortable, and she's wearing the outfit that she first showed up in. So it's like it's a pretty tight dress. So she had to kind of hike up the skirt a bit in order to nothing obscene. She's wearing underwear, but
thank goodness. Thank you, bloomers.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
she's also wearing heels that she took off.
Oh my god. Yeah, to climb. Yeah. Neat. Okay. So I'm assuming, Ellie, you tell them to go around the back.
Yep, Ellie will jump down and be like, "Hey guys, he wants us to use the other entrance. This way. Come on."
Okay.
All right. And sure enough, around the back entrance, you can see the screen door is already open, and the solid door behind it is closed. Sure enough, once you all get around the back, you can hear a little click click by that door, like something has been latched or unlatched, and then you hear 7 steady knocks on the other side of the door.
Ellie waits a moment and will knock back. She will knock back the number of the statues they currently have in possession. So,
Which
2?
is 0.
Does he have 2?
Well,
he has 2.
He has 2.
So she would knock 2 times.
There's a pause on the other end of the door. Outside the kitchen window, out towards there, you see his gray face poke out again. He goes, "Knock 5 more times," and then he closes. Then he juts his head out of the window again.
We can't all be alike. And she'll knock 5 more times.
And he opens up the door and he goes, "Oh, come in, quick! Wait, who's that one?" And he like freezes for a moment, stares and points towards Blink.
Wait.
Oh, she's the
She's
janitor.
with me. She's not the janitor.
Janitor?
Blink looks offended when you say she's the janitor.
Ellie gives kind of a pleading look.
Can she be trusted?
Of
Yes.
course. Frank, I made sure that we drove the long way. I made sure we weren't tailed. I made sure our vehicle was hidden. I did everything you ask. She can be trusted.
What's her name?
Blink.
And Blink says, "Well, my actual name is Janina, but yes, my friends call me Blink." And he stares for a moment, and then he steps to one side, opens up the door, and gestures for you all to come in.
I will do so.
Okay. As you guys file in, he'll quickly, like abruptly, close the door and lock it up. You can see 2 locks on the side of the door, and his kitchen area still has a ton of pots and pans and all sorts of knickknacks kind of strewn about. He ignores them though, and as he begins to circle around Blink carefully several times, and he says, "Well, Miss Janina Blink, I take it you're from out of town as well?" She would nod. She says, "I guess you can say so." "I see. have you dealt with evil forces? She blinks a few times and she says, yes, actually, I can. Oh, really? And what do you know of secrecy and precision? She says, I know quite a bit about it, actually. He goes, oh, really? What do you know about? And then he stops and like juts his bearded face so close to her, his nose is like practically pressed up against her own. Blink flinches a little bit, but doesn't move, and he says, and what do you know about the transmundane? And she says, not a damn thing, except for what my friends told me this afternoon. No! Told you! And he looks towards all of you. I told you to keep it a secret!
Well, yes, we are keeping it a secret.
Telling people opposite of secret, he says, bringing his hand to the side of his head.
Ellie like calmly like lifts up her hands and says, we're all from out of town. We're all coming from the same place. Them knowing isn't gonna change anything, you know?
Oh, I see.
Uh-huh.
So she knows about... He pauses for a moment, he looks towards her, and he says, okay, final question. Answer truthfully, Miss Janina Blink. And you hear him mutter, just, Janina is fine. He ignores her. He says, have you seen colors that should not be? And she looks towards each of you for a moment, and her eyes linger on Tom, and she shrugs and she says, yes. In fact, where we are right now is very strange. It's a very limited range of colors. I'm used to seeing so much more. He goes, okay. You're all right then. But I'm gonna be keeping an eye on you, just in case. Just in case. She kind of gives a bit of a smirk, and she says, well, do what you have to do, I guess. As he turns around, she looks towards Lavin, and she makes, like, that twirl around your ear, like the, crazy gesture to him.
Lavin nods vigorously.
Ellie's admiring how thorough Frank is with his research.
So, Patrick looks very much at Blink. Is she still a cat lady?
Yeah. Blink still has, she's still a cat mutant. Yes.
So he just, like, stares at her for a second and goes, alright.
So, Frank, we got great news.
Oh?
We got a private audience with the museum to see that statue.
The antiquarian?
Yeah.
A private audience?
Well, okay. Let me explain our infiltration method. And
okay, wait. He says, we need to prepare for this properly. Follow me, he says.
Oh, okay.
As he leads you all towards the main sitting room, past all the clanking, clattering pots and pans of his kitchen, past the room with the glass display cases and the chandelier overhead that's still hanging by a rope over a X mark that has been painted onto the floor. Back into the main sitting area. He says, infiltration methods require comfort. And then he crawls back into his fireplace and sits there very promptly and presses his fingers to his lips. And he says, go on.
Okay. Do you want me to do this in character?
In character, why not?
Okay. So, the plan is we're taking everyone in the Rhapsody, which is, did I tell you what the Rhapsody was?
You said it was some sort of nightclub doodle.
Yeah, so we're taking the staff there under the guise that we're doing it for research purposes and to better ourselves with knowledge of the local area. But Frank, I will admit, I really want to see the volcano exhibit, so just keep that in mind. Just keep it in mind, that's all I ask. But we figure we can figure out the lay of the area, kind of get some ideas on what the statue's about and what they know about the statue. Now that's the important part, Frank, is what they know versus what we know, right?
Oh, it's like a test.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, if they but Frank, here's the thing, and Ellie will kind of kneel down next to him. Frank, we're gonna need you there with us.
Oh no. He looks down and he shakes his head. He goes, No, that's not
Lavin is
possible."
looking extremely shocked towards me at this point.
The thing is, you know the most about these statues. We know so much, but we won't be able to tell if what he's saying is either true or if it's more than he should know. With you there, you'll know for sure if he's not on the up and up.
You think that maybe whoever you're dealing with is one of these sinister people, and that they're trying to trick and deceive you, and so you need me to ferret him out.
Pretty much. But Frank, the thing is, I think we might have to change your look just to keep you safe. How do you feel about losing the beard?
And he freezes for a moment. FrankPatterson.exe has shut down for a moment as his mouth is still agape and his eyes are wide, and he looks like he's paralyzed for the next few minutes. And he says, "How is this any of this good news?"
Lavin, can you get him a drink? Listen to me, Frank. This is what we do. It's research. We gotta know before we can do, and you're the smartest one here out of all of us. You know the most about these statues. When's the last time you've been out of the house, Frank?
I mean, she's not
6
wrong.
years. I have not stepped out of my place in the past 6 years. And now all of a sudden you want me to leave. And not just leave for any reason, to get some fresh air or get some groceries or anything like that. You want me to go into that awful cesspool that is the antiquarian and pretend I am someone I am not. You want to shave my beautiful hair and, well, he kind of looks, and he's wringing his hands through his wily beard, and crumbs and stuff are coming out of it.
Ugh.
And he kind of he kind of gives a grimace at his own hands. He says, "But you here's the biggest problem," he says. "What about my transmundane? My treasure? I have to keep it safe. I have to monitor it."
What if we get one of us who we can be trusted because, I mean, we know and we've proven ourselves, stays with it, while you go to the museum with us?
Bring it with you and keep it in a bag.
He's starting to gasp and heave his chest like he's a scared little bird. This is all very much to take.
Frank, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but I do worry about you. I mean, it's one thing. This research is your life, right?
Yes, it's what I've been put here for. It's the secrets must be found out. It must be protected. Evil forces stopped. Classic tale, you know. Good versus evil. I'm on the side of the light. Yes.
Right. Of course. But Frank, what is more important to you? Finding out more or staying locked up in here?
A decision to help begins with action.
Wow, Lavin, that was very profound.
The Frank Patterson wipes the side of his mouth. He looks to all of you and he says, "Okay, first action. Take that glass there." He gestures to one of the glasses that I used earlier on for the wine that when you came on in the afternoon. He says, and fill it with whatever's in that bottle that you brought.
As you wish. Do you have a second glass?
Okay. And he shakily gets out of his fireplace, sits down on a normal chair, cups the glass of port in both hands like it's somehow going to warm him up magically as he takes soft sips out of it. And he says, "Okay. Step he says, "There's a bit of a problem. He takes another drink. He says, "I'm scared. See, here in my house, I can protect the transmundane. I can control everything. Everything. I do my research. I follow up clues. My friend, my companion, my man brings me food and brings me information and brings me statues, and I cipher through it all, safe and secure in my little tower here. But out there is where they live. You understand? The wicked, wicked people that want to take my transmundane, that want to stop me. And you want me to go out into there? I don't know if I can."
Frank, listen, I'm scared too. I mean, this is a weird place for me. I'm doing a lot of things that are kind of scary lately. But what I've learned most of all is you can't let fear decide your fate.
Also,
Hmm.
what you hold in your hand, they don't call it liquid courage for nothing.
It helps too. It really does.
He pauses for a moment and he finishes off the glass almost in a devotional way as he gives a bit of a grimace and a shudder after the last drop goes down his throat, and he says, "I have just met you today. So although I do believe you're on the same side as I do, I think that you might be a little woefully ignorant as to what you have to deal with. This is my home. I'm familiar with all its nooks and crannies and secrets. Just simply leaving one or two of you here to guard my precious transmundane I don't think is sufficient. If I am to leave, I'll have to take the transmundane with me, which is dangerous, but more dangerous for my well-being than the consequences otherwise. I cannot let it out of my sight. I just cannot." And his hands are like twisting. His fingers are twisting in a kind of a spasmic way. But
Well, as long as... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Levin.
As long as you can keep these people from, pickpocketing you or blindly robbing you,
Oh, yes.
I dare them to try to attack you while you're with a group of us.
Yes, okay. Yes. You've proven yourselves very, very resourceful, and powerful to know of these things. Yes, I will keep it very safe with me, close right to my heart. I'll wrap it up so its color doesn't bleed out, so no one knows anything about it. I'll keep it right next to me. Yes. Okay. That solves that problem. Okay. Second problem. Do you really want to you I have had some dealings with these Mackenzie folks, Angus and his squirrel of a wife. They will not be there, will they?
No.
Lavin looks around.
Yeah, Angus and Rose Mackenzie. They're the people who are in that picture as the owners of the antiquarian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you
No,
were when you were in the museum. Yeah.
As far as I know, this is a pretty covert operation. So
Yeah,
no, should be
it's
there.
Who are you in contact with over at the antiquarian then?
the Miguel.
Oh,
Ma...
God. I'll help you out. Hugo Montoyes.
Hugo. I'm just gonna call him Hugo. This last name's messed me up. Hugo.
Hugo Montoyes?
Yeah.
Oh, he's their little lapdog. Oh, he's been under their thumb for a long time.
He seemed like he didn't want them to know that we were gonna be there.
Yeah, it seemed like he was interested in pocketing the money.
Really?
Frank, would they recognize you?
Well, he says the owners, Angus and Rose, would. I've had some correspondence with Hugo Montoyes, but not much. But I was well known in higher circles. I suppose people have forgotten me now that I mind my own business, which is good. I want to be secret. I don't know if I should change what I look like. What you say makes sense, especially if we're to do a covert action to ferret things out.
What if? What if instead of getting rid of the beard, we clean it up? We make it all nice and pretty.
Yes, I suppose that could do.
Yeah,
yes.
Frank, you had crumbs coming out of your beard before. I think it's time.
When you have a lot of work to do, sometimes certain things fall. It's all about priority, you see.
You're right.
Okay.
No, I understand. I used to have a big, massive beard myself. You're right. It is all about priority. Right now, your priority is these transmundane feelings.
Yes,
it's time to shave the beard. It'll grow back.
Okay, give me just a moment. Give me just a moment.
This is such a weird turn of events.
I know it is. It is. I'm rolling with it. I like it. I like it. I'm just putting myself in this character's shoes.
Is he even wearing shoes?
No. No, he's not wearing shoes.
I didn't think so. He didn't seem like a shoe kind of guy.
He says, one condition, he says. One condition, if I get out there and I don't like it, you already said you were going to keep me safe. That's fine. That's fine. I believe you. Me and the transmundane will be safe. But if I don't want to go outside anymore, he says, then I don't have to. I can go back in whenever I want.
Yes. Frank, I promise you, if you do your darndest, and I know sometimes fear is a hell of a compelling thing, and I get that. I don't want you to do anything that is gonna bring you a lot of pain, because fear can be painful. I'll make sure to walk you back home, back here.
Okay, but
he takes a deep breath.
Whoa.
Right.
You can only chicken out after one pep talk, 2 drinks, and Lavender fills his drink.
That seems reasonable, he says, as he takes another drink. That seems very reasonable. Yes, of course. He pauses, he says, and there's no way you can do this without me.
Frank, I mean, we could, but it wouldn't be as reliable. Like I said, you're the one who's most knowledgeable on this stuff.
Yes.
We've only just got here.
Okay. Yes. I can't believe I'm saying this. I cannot believe it, as he says, as his dialogue is interrupted by hearty gulping of that second glass of port. His eyes clear a little bit, and he says, "Well, Ellie lass." He stands up as confidently as he can, juts out his chest, and for a moment, just for a brief moment, he emulates one of the striking poses as he did in one of the pictures that are drawn up on the wall when he was a much younger and more confident man. And he says, "Clean me up. Oh, but don't go into the third closet on the second floor. Never go into that closet."
Got it. Did you guys write that down? Did y'all write that down? Make sure. I'm going to forget, but
Tom
I'll
will
write
sigh,
down.
take out his sketchbook, and write down never go into the third closet.
Okay.
No, erase the never part. Never mind. Keep going.
No. The Frank Peller steps towards Tom. He looks at what he wrote. He says, "Good. You remember that?"
Yeah.
Good. Now I want you to tear off that paper. Go ahead, tear it off.
He's going to stare at him as he tears it off.
Now put it into a little ball. Just crush it right up into a ball.
He'll crush it into a ball.
Okay. Now eat it.
No.
Yes, says Frank. You have to keep it secret.
I can dispose of it in other ways. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You eat it and you like it. Here, you want a drink? Drink will wash it down, he says, as he gestures for Lavin to pour a drink in front of Tom.
You realize paper is made out of wood, right?
So, Patrick is like almost... He's pretty close to dead asleep next to you guys.
Ellie will just start patting him on the head.
Oh,
Okay, now hold on. This is special paper, as he holds it in the palm of his hand and kind of goes over it with his other palm. Special. Watch as it, and he waves his hand over it again, disappears, and he'll softly light it on fire.
Ellie, like,
Wow.
quickly jumps up.
And there it goes. It's gone.
Excellent.
Frank suddenly grips you by the collar and with surprising strength hoists you up and clacks his forehead against yours, Tom, and he says, "Who are you?"
No, Frank, put Tom down. It was just a silly magic trick. Don't worry about it.
His hands are still clenched to Tom. He says, "Is that true? Are you some sort of magician?"
Yes. Like I said, it's special paper.
What kind of special paper?
It's special paper that lights if you wave your hand over it a few times.
He slowly lets go of you. He greedily grabs the pad.
Lavin says, "Does this surprise you? Do you think people would pay money to see this kind of thing?"
No, you don't. Sorry. First things first, Tom. Do you let Frank grab the pad, or do you try to resist? Or
he's resisting.
Okay. So Frank has his hands on one side of the pad, and Tom has on the other side of the pad. And as he's wrestling with it, Tom, he goes, "You don't understand. Their agents have strange powers as well. They're not normal. They're not from here. They do all sorts of awful, hidden things.
Frank!
I don't know what, but maybe that's one of them. How well do you know this man?"
I've sleeping for 50 years.
All right, Patrick, you just rest your head. Frank, listen. We told you we're not from around here.
Quickly, Frank tries to wave his hand in front of the pad of Tom's paper. What happens?
A corner will light. And Tom
I know
will try
this man
and...
well enough to know things about him that you don't know. And he's okay.
Tom will try and furiously try to bat
nonsense.
that corner that's on fire with his hand. Stop it! I have drawings in there.
Oh, fine. Okay. Fine. I've never heard of paper that has chemical reactions like that. Why didn't you just eat the paper?
He's allergic.
Because...
Have you ever eaten paper? It's not very good.
No, but it's necessary. Some things that you have to do are not good, but they're necessary.
How many pieces of paper have you eaten?
He pauses for a moment. He says, 63.
Well, that's impressive. You deserve another drink.
Well, not all at once, he says, over a period of 6 years. But I won't say no to another drink, he says, getting a little wobbly on his feet.
Even 70.
What, did he say 7?
Did he say 70?
He's just talking in his sleep right now. I wouldn't bother him. And Ellie kind of like,
Who can sleep at a time like this?
Well, it's been a very long day, you see. And Patrick's is our little special little baby boy.
What time is it? Are we out in the middle of the night doing this?
It's like 1 o'clock at night.
Oh my god.
Very late. So,
okay. He says, okay, the important thing is to focus on what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna clean me up? He points over to Blink. What, you too? Blink gives an unsure look to everybody else.
No. She's gonna help me clean up the house.
Yeah.
No! What do you mean clean up my house?
No, Frank, listen, we're just gonna take the layer of dust that's off of what's... We're not gonna go into anything, we're just gonna take some dust off of your furnishing.
No.
Focus on the problem at hand.
You guys are turning my life upside down.
Your life needs to be turned upside down.
But that dust might be important sometimes. You never know, the way it falls on things. It might be significant. But if you wipe it away, you might wipe away an important clue.
You have a problem.
Frank?
Mm.
Dust is just human skin.
Mostly. He speaks the truth.
Ugh.
It's gross. We need to get rid of it. It's unhygienic.
All of that, and Ellie will kind of point at a lamp or something and be like, all of that is Frank's skin?
Yeah.
I don't know, Frank, you had anybody else in here lately?
Only my steward.
Okay, Frank and Frank Stewart.
Yeah.
Frank, is there something special about your skin that you would need it?
That's phrased in an
he
odd
pauses
way.
for a moment.
I think Frank wants his skin.
And he looks towards you and he says, just don't open the third closet door.
I know, I wrote it down.
And I'll make you over. I've done it to myself a few times.
Okay, you clean me up, and then I'll see what this whole cleaning thing is, and if I don't like it, then you have to put a stop to it.
Yes.
Lemony Zest will get out your mess.
And Patrick will be sleeping during this time.
Just imagine if you looked as good as Ellie. Mila. Ellie?
Ellie, yeah.
Ellie.
Cynthia. Nora.
No, not Cynthia.
Her. Just
Me.
imagine that you looked as good as her.
Frank pauses for a moment. He says, "She does look pretty good. I don't know if I can." And he wanders over to one of his pictures, and he kind of carefully takes it up. It's a picture of him in front of the stern of a boat that says the HMS Majesty, and he hands it carefully over to Ellie, and he says, "Can you make me look like that man, or at least close to that?"
I think I can do that.
"I've gone a little gray," said Stan, "and my skin's a little looser, but yeah."
I'm sure you'll wear it well.
"Very well, okay. Just I'll lead you to what do you need? Like a bathroom or a
Yeah, I guess
empty
somewhere
space?"
there's gonna be a lot of hair falling down. Yeah, what, you got like a bathroom?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
easier
I have 5 bathrooms in this place.
Okay, well,
I'll
that's a
lead
little
you
bit
to
of an
the
overkill.
main one.
Okay.
Oh, I used to have need. Never mind. Past. Okay, follow me.
All
And
right.
he hops up the stairs with Ellie in tow. And he pauses halfway up the stairs and he points to the rest of you below, even the sleeping Patrick, and he says, "Remember what I said." And with that, he'll let Ellie follow him.
Ellie points to her eyes
Mm-hmm.
and then points to the group, like, I'm watching you. And she'll go up.
So we'll slip to a more narrative way. First things first, I'll deal with Lavin, Tom, Blink, and Patrick is pretty much unconscious now until someone tries to wake him up. But Blink is going to exhale, and she says, "The man is less stable than Ellie, and you want him to come with us?"
Well, see, the thing is, he knows a lot about these statues, so we do actually need him.
But
he is real crazy, though.
She says he's gonna be a handful, but I guess so. And she pauses. She looks towards Lavin. What was he doing, insisting us not going in the third closet? Sounds like he has something to hide.
Absolutely. If nothing else, that entirely means that we should secretly go into his third closet without telling him, because judgment can't be trusted. End of story.
Wait, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
No, we totally need to check out his third closet. Dude's totally insane. We need to figure out what his deal is.
Okay, good. Well, Ellie hasn't distracted. We'll start cleaning things up, and Lavin, why don't you check out this third closet situation and see what he has to hide. If it's nothing major, then we have nothing to worry about. But if it's something that we need to worry about, then it's better that we know now than later.
Mm-hmm.
Lavin looks somewhat awkward. He says, "I can do that. Mind you, I'm not the most quietest and necessarily sober person here. But if no one else is going, I guess this is our opportunity. Unless we want to send him to the, expedition tomorrow and have someone sneak into his house and check the closet. That gets a little weird.
But by then it might be too late too. By then we'll have
too late. What do you think he's got in his third closet? This guy hasn't been out in years."
She says, "I have absolutely no idea. But it's better that we know now before we let him along. What if he's deranged, or what if he's dangerous?
What if he's deranged? He's definitely deranged.
Okay. Well, like dangerous, right? I mean, he put his hands on Tom pretty quick there after that paper went on fire, which she kind of looks over at Tom, like kind of giving him a knowing look, but not actually saying anything.
I panicked. What was I don't want to eat the paper.
I don't blame you, she says. I don't blame you. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's just that he doesn't entirely trust me all that much, and things got pretty tense with Tom, and Patrick's asleep, So I'm only suggesting you, Lavin, because he seems to have, besides Ellie, he seems to be the most relaxed around you. But I think it's because you keep him liquored up. I'm sorry I broke character.
No,
that's funny.
That might have something to do with it. You could be entirely correct on that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
So
I'll give it a shot. I mean, I already broke into his basement and stole his wine. And then Lavin looks around at everybody else who doesn't know he's done this and says, "Never mind. Yeah, I'll check out his closet."
Okay. So that wine that you brought last time was his own.
Okay.
No, it was just. Was it third closet, second floor?
Yeah, third closet, second floor. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
And thankfully the main bathroom is on the third floor that this gentleman took Ellie to. So we'll kind of slip a little bit more narratively, or just a little bit here. Blink will let Tom kind of lead on where they want to start cleaning. Tom, do you really care? You're just gonna find a few places that are dusty and just are you just focusing on dusting the place, really?
Mostly just dusting.
Okay.
And to be honest,
cool. That's awesome.
He'll say that she can just chill on the couch, and he'll do most of it.
Well, she's like, I'll keep an eye on Patrick, make sure he doesn't come down with a knife and slit poor Patrick's throat or something.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, she'll sit next to Patrick and keep an eye on him. Okay, so Tom's gonna dust. I'm gonna get to you in a moment, there, Lavin. Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna shear this guy and clean him up, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So he squirms a lot when you try to shave his beard. I'm assuming you're gonna give him a haircut too.
Yep.
Now he's wearing pajamas. You've only seen him in these pajamas. I think it's only fair to ask, like, are you gonna ask him if he has any other clothes, or
yes.
Yeah, okay. And he'll say he has some old clothes in storage, but they're up in his second bedroom, which is also on the third floor. He says, I'm not too sure if they'll fit or not, but I guess we can find out.
Yeah.
Do you want to do like a general skill roll to see how well you clean this guy up?
Sure, let's see.
Okay. Now you actually have, this isn't an actual skill that you have on your risk character sheet.
Huh?
Right? there's no makeover
no.
skill. Get on that, Palladium.
Actually, Inferno, there is.
No, really?
There is a particular skill specifically to make somebody presentable.
Oh my god, really? I take everything back, Palladium. Are you serious?
Oh
my
god,
god,
Lucas has everything.
Who has it?
Yeah,
Lucas?
Lucas.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I have disguise and spelunking.
I think. Shut the fuck up, Brianna. Actually, we'll kind of use the disguise skill, because disguise deals with makeup and styling hair and clothes and stuff like that. So I think that would be very pertinent.
All right.
I would like you to make it harder by 10 because the guy is squirmy.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so this has been the best session.
Wow, this is
specifically
amazing.
because we had a 1, which is
the 100,
and a 100.
I should have made the joke. I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, now that we got that 1 out of the way, it's gonna be a hundo.
Okay, so I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna completely allow Claire creativity. So this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna succeed at shaving his beard, or at least trimming his beard and doing his hair and giving him some new clothes. But I would like you to seriously Ellie this up and like
Can I show you a picture of what I wanted to do for him?
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea was like to kind of like make him presentable and normal, and you're gonna clean him up, but I don't think that goal of making him normal is going to work.
Wait, quick, let me find it again.
Okay.
I mean, okay. Bear with me when I send you the picture. I'm gonna send it to you through Discord so it's nice and hidden.
Okay. Discord. Oh. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a little. I like that actually because it's still styled, but it's definitely. It is.
It's not what you
Ironically, it
wanted?
is. No, what it is? No, this works because you can share it with everybody if you
Okay.
want, Kriana. And so Bert can share it with the stream because I think that's exactly what we're going to do because the hair is still styled, but it is not suitable for the time. You've never seen anyone else walk around with this hairstyle at all. So so the idea is it's a complete fail as a disguise because people are going to be looking at him quite a bit because this is this older man with this weird hair, right? But that's perfect. That's what the fail was meant to do. You know what I mean?
I googled handsome old men with beards.
That guy is like a hipster
I want to take him out for coffee.
Okay,
just hear his story.
Okay, all right, settle down.
I was tempted to find one where it shows like an old dude with ripped abs because trust me, that came up a lot in my search.
Anywho, okay, so that's perfect. Ellie, the other thing is the clothes. He has several clothes. Some of them are completely moth-bitten. A couple of them are salvageable.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that you'll get the proper clothes like the suit, the tie, the undershirt, the trousers, the suspenders, and the shoes. But would it be fair to say that none of them really matches each other? And Ellie isn't doing this because she has no sense of style. Because since it's all in black and white and there's all sorts of these interesting and different patterns, maybe Ellie's like, yeah, and this is a cool pattern, and this is a cool pattern, and this is a cool pattern, and put together, look at you look really neat. But socially speaking, he also again kind of stands out.
Yeah, Inferno.
Yeah.
I think Ellie just made the first hipster.
Oh my god, you did! You made the first hipster in the Sable dimension.
Oh my god. This is the best outcome I could have ever asked for.
Okay, well, thank you, D100 roll. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ellie gets to doing that. And last but not least is Lavin. I'm assuming you just head up the stairs to get to the second floor, right?
I think that I would take
Mm-hmm.
sort of an obfuscated path. Perhaps say I need a new glass or something and go through the kitchen or something, some kind of BS like that where it's look like, hey, I'm just going up the stairs now.
I'm gonna beeline directly for that place you told me not to go to.
Right.
Okay. Do you have any sort of prowl skill or
I have prowl, but it's lousy.
Well, that's okay. That's okay because we're gonna give you a couple positive modifiers, or like good things, right? One is that they're the only person who cares about this is not even on your floor. Second of all, Ellie, I'm assuming you're not being super quiet during all this. You're probably chatting with him as you're cutting his hair and styling his. Okay. So, second of all, he's very much distracted. So I'd like you to make a prowl check, but I would like you to make it easier by 35. 35.
Okay. 35, you said?
Yep. 20 for distraction, 1 for being completely out of line of sight or anything like that. It's really just your footsteps you have to worry about. You fail by 1.
By 1.
That's okay. Just by 1. It's just by 1. So what happens is Lavin, you obfuscate your way through the kitchen to get a new glass, and you go upstairs, and you check out a couple rooms. You make it look like you're trying to tidy things up, maybe even do a little bit of dusting yourself. And sure enough, you do see that third closet. third closet door, and it does stand out because all the other doors are, pure wood, pure dark wood, where this one seems to be painted white, and the door knob is very different. Most of them are like regular twisty knobs, but this one almost is. There's a handle and there's like a little lever to kind of depress the latch. If that makes any sense.
Like a lever knob rather than a door
Yeah,
knob?
yeah, lever knob rather than a door knob. Yeah. It has one of the lever knobs on it. And as you make your way towards that, sure enough, there's just it's an older house, it's an older building, so there's a bit of a squeak, a few steps squeak a little bit. And Ellie, as you're doing this gentleman's hair, he kind of pauses for a moment and he goes, "Wait, did you hear something?"
What?
Well, after we're done this, we're going to have to check on your friends. I want to make sure they're not messing around too much. I have a lot of newspapers, you see. I've been collecting all the editions, get as many hands on them. I don't want them to knock that over, you understand?
That's a good idea. Well, do you want to go check now, or do you want to wait till I finish cutting this piece?
Well, no, just do the piece first, I guess. There's no hurry. I can trust your friends, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, yes. You know about the transmundane. And he kind of mutters a little bit to himself and continues on. Lavin, you managed to get to the latch. The door is completely closed. It looks like it's a narrow door too. It's like a door to like maybe like a little pantry or something like that. It's not something that would step into a larger, wider room. It literally looks like almost like a closet door. What would you like to do?
Well, first of all, try the latch. I mean, I'm assuming it's locked, but
Actually, you grip onto the latch and you depress it, and sure enough, it loosens up. It's actually not locked. But the only thing that's strange is that you can feel that the handle's wet a little bit. It has like this kind of filmy liquid on it, like it's kind of moist. But that's about it. Like maybe it's perspiration or maybe some like wash their hands and then wipe their hands or something like that.
I would smell my hand to see if I can tell what it is.
It kind of smells a bit like ammonia, and I don't know. It's this is very sterile and kind of has this kind of uneasy undertone to it. I guess the closest thing is you've been out in the wild, well, after you're giving a few more sniffs, yeah, it might be urine.
Okay, Lavin,
it might be urine. Yeah. It's faint, but yeah, it might be pee.
And opens the door.
You open the door, and what you see is on five different shelves are these mason jars. These huge jars that just fill up every single shelf, and they're stacked on top of each other, and most of them have lids on them, thank goodness, and they're all filled with this cloudy gray liquid. Every single one of them.
Gray?
Yeah, kind of gray, somewhat transparentish. Yeah. And then the smell hits you, and it's a lot more of that urine smell. Oh, and some of the ones in the back have like this residue that's collected by the bottom of it. There's like film around the edges of these mason jars.
Is there any of them that don't look like they're full of bodily fluid?
Nope.
Lavin abruptly shuts the door.
Uh-huh.
Finds the nearest washroom and cleans his hands.
Okay. You do so. You thankfully this floor does have a washroom, a little side washroom, and I'm going to have you I'm sorry, I'm just reading the reaction in chat.
Yeah, that's real gross.
and you thankfully wash your hands. I'm assuming later on you would come back down to the main floor to check with Tom and Blink and Patrick. Yes.
Yes, with a. Sorry, I'm joking.
Okay.
On the grossness, rather disgusted / appalled / surprised.
Oh,
Look.
okay. Seeing as you come down the stairs with that look on your face, Blank gets up with a start and she moves over towards you and she whispers and she said, "You looked in. What's in there? What happened? Are you okay?"
And I'll say, no, I didn't look in. He didn't flush the toilet on the bathroom floor upstairs, and then try to end the conversation and walk away.
Unfortunately, Blink persists a little bit. She says, "Wait. You didn't find out? You just went to the washroom and he didn't flush and that's it?"
Have you ever smelled death?
She says, She purses her lips a little bit, and she starts making her way up the stairs.
Blink,
Ciao,
no.
baby. I'm gonna go
No.
get a drink.
She'll get to the top of the stairs and she'll say, "Lavin, if you hear me shout or yell, get Tom and Ellie and wake up Patrick and we'll have to get out of here." And she looks worried yet stern as she makes her way up the stairs.
God damn it, Lavin.
A few minutes later, she comes back downstairs with that same expression that Lavin had, shock and disgust. She sits down next
Lavin
to
raises
Patrick.
a glass and says, "Cheers."
She says, "I am not in the mood to drink. We will never speak of this. That man is very sick, but he will not be dangerous."
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
"Why did you make me come here?" She says.
Hey, I didn't make you come here. Hands in the air.
No, I know. She says, "I'm gonna go find Tom." She stands up. She goes to Tom. She lets him know what she found, and that'll be that. But
pretty sure the consensus from him is gross.
Yeah. She nods and blinks several times.
Do you think those jars are full of transmundane?
There ain't nothing mundane about that shit.
He's trying to make a transmundane factory.
So I would like, okay. So Ellie, once you're done cleaning up Frank Patterson, are you going to have him come down the stairs like the belle of the ball as you show him off to your
Pretty
friend?
much. And just for, I mean, this is Ellie's mental image of him, but as he's walking down, she just sees sparkles floating around him.
Yeah, that's all just in Ellie's
music
brain.
softens.
So sure enough, after about 40 minutes or so, Frank does reemerge with Ellie. He walks down the stairs, and sure enough, his beard is trimmed to a fine short beard that is completely clean of any crumbs or dirt or debris or anything like that. His hair is styled, but almost in a wild way. Several wisps, some of them cling against his forehead, other ones fly along the back of his hair, and it's a peculiar hairstyle, but oh my goodness, this setting has people of all sorts of strange hairstyles. It's clean and it's styled and it's not, he doesn't look like a bushman, so there you go. And his suit and his tie and his trousers all have kind of different patterns to them. That's probably maybe the most jarring compared to your own suits, gentlemen, or suspenders or something. You kind of rock the more solid colored look. But Ellie seems very pleased with himself, and Frank is very unsure of himself, but carries himself relatively well. when he gets to the bottom of the stairs, he says, "Well, do I look all right?"
You look fantastic.
Okay, he says. Well, I have some last bit of research I want to do, some last papers I want to sift through. Wait. He runs over, he actually scurries over to Blink and Tom, and he says, "You need to show me what you cleaned."
Okay. And he's gonna just turn around and go, well, there's here. Then he's gonna start moving into the next room.
Sure, and as you're doing that, Frank goes like to every single tiny piece to see if it's been moved or changed or anything was taken. He seems a little disheartened that the dust is gone, but he can say with confidence that you didn't take anything or move anything. He sees a few things that are askew that he gives you a couple scowls at as he puts them back into place. But otherwise, everything's here. He's like, okay. He's following it.
And then finally there was this, and there's it's in the room with the chandelier, and he basically just went over the glass.
Yeah, well, I can see it. Okay, I approve of the glass, I guess. I can see everything clearer. Okay, I guess this wasn't awful. You can be trusted. Listen, he says, I'm sorry I put my hands on you, but you gave me a lot of shock with that magic paper of yours. Or special paper, whatever you called it.
No problem.
He reaches his arm around you and he holds you in tight in a buddy pose so no one else can hear it. He says, I've been thinking about it ever since your friend was giving me a haircut. I understand why it's special paper now. Because if you write in codes or messages, right, you want to make sure you destroy it. And sometimes you can't eat it fast enough. Is that what it is? Is it spy paper?
Basically, yeah. It responds to friction.
I see. Do you have more of that paper?
I can see if I can try and get my hands on it, but it was from back home.
I see. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Once this is all done, we'll talk more about this. And he kind of pats you on the chest. Well, okay. He takes a few more deep breaths and he says, all right. I suppose you will come and pick me up before we go to the antiquarian.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Why don't we join the rest of the party? My friends.
Yes. And sure enough, Frank lets go of you and lets you lead on. And sure enough, Frank returns back to the main living room and he says, okay, so arrangements for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to I don't know if I can drive an automobile. Would you be able to arrange transportation for me?
Oh, sure. We'll just come pick you up.
Okay, and we're going to be there for how long?
2 hours.
Oh, 2 hours. 120 minutes.
You can do this, Frank.
Well, 120 if you drop the 0 and you switch the 1 and the 2 to 2 and a 1.
And set aside 20 minutes for the volcanoes.
Yes. Okay. So 145. Yeah. Well, that doesn't work out as well mathematically speaking, but that's okay. That'll still work. Okay. Yes. I, in the meantime, have to properly package and cherish and protect my treasure, and then I'll be ready. I will be ready. You come here, and I will take the first few steps outside. More port. Yes, there is a little bit more left, as he says as he grabs the bottle and drinks up the last little residue of it.
We'll be sure to get you
Liquid
some of
courage.
that liquid courage for tomorrow.
Yes. I think I might need a lot of it, yes.
But not too much.
Not too
No,
much,
me
but just
too.
enough.
You're right. Don't want to dull the mind. They would love it if my mind was dulled, wouldn't they? They would. They would.
Less the
Can't let them
dulling
win.
of the mind that I'm worried about, but yes.
And Frank, I know this is a very serious mission that we're on.
Yes. Life or death.
Right. Try and enjoy yourself.
He frowns a little bit and he says, "We shall see."
That's all I ask. By the way, Frank, you look good.
Thank you. The styles really have changed, haven't they?
Yeah. The style here is different from where I'm from, so... But I think it works overall. You already had the outfit, so
Yeah.
You'll fit right in.
Surprised it's still... there's a bit of a tear, but I don't think anyone noticed that. You stitched that up pretty well. Yes,
No, yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, well, I will see you tomorrow then. Be careful. Make sure they're not followed you. You're not being followed back to your house. I'm sure there are eyes on my place all the time.
Don't worry. We'll take the long way again and then switch it right at the last second.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Right. Well, go back the way you came. He escorts you back through the kitchen, through his back patio door, after knocking on the door 7 times in a ritual-like fashion.
Ellie will knock on the door 7 times.
Okay. Good. He says. And then you're out in the night air. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning now. Oh, and you grab all your buckets and cleaning supplies and all that good stuff, too. And Patrick, I don't know what you do with Patrick.
Ellie's just carrying him.
Okay, Ellie carries him.
I think we did good work today, gang.
Oh my god.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
Blink gives a bit of a shudder. She says, "That man, he's
incredible."
Yes, he is incredible. Yeah. What an incredible man.
Go get him, Obi-Wan.
With that, you guys drive back to the Rhapsody. I guess Teckle, Patrick in. We are probably going to wind down the session because the museum tour now with fucking Frank Patterson is not going to be something that will be done in 20 minutes.
Nope.
This is going to be a challenge in itself. I can't wait till next week.
I'm so glad it all worked out according to my master plan.
Oh, Jesus, this is going to be so weird. Oh, but this is great. I already had some, this is funny because I already had, a general framework going on and stuff like that. But now throwing Frank Patterson in the mix, holy shit. Oh, you guys better come sharp next week because it's going to be like herding a cat.
Oh, yes.
We get to experience what you have to experience every week.
Oh, yeah. Let's do the ultimate troll move. Guys, no one show up except for Squee.
We can't have a session if
you deal with this mess.
No, that's so mean.
You finish it up. No, I'll be here.
My god.
I'll be here. I'm excited for this.
This will be great. But is there any other scenes, any little role play, anything, any questions for me or anything you want your characters to do? Between now and then or something like that? Just so, we have a couple minutes free. There's no reason why we can't deal with something else.
Nope.
I think I'm fine.
Yeah, that was my big thing.
Okay, yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Then it's a few minutes early, but whatever. We can't end things right on perfect time each time. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. We have. Oh my god.
We have a good starting place for next session.
We have a disaster in the making.
Oh, it could be a disaster. It could be brilliant. We'll find out. It could be both.
Yeah.
We'll find out. But thank you all for watching, and thank you guys for playing as per usual. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys next week, Sunday, with another episode of Riffs. Hopefully, probably with this mess that we're gonna deal with.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yes, follow us on Twitter.
At the real PSYLP.
At the real PSYLP.
Grant is so happy that we had to put the real on in our username.
It's like, you know, like fucking like celebrities, except theirs was not good. But you know, that's fine. I just threw shade at the never mind.
Hey Kriana.
President? Who cares?
At the original PSYLP. I'm gonna look them up.
Oh, he does nothing with this channel. It's weird.
Yeah.
Original PSYLP.
Yeah, there he is.
Also, we do another tabletop RPG called 3 Galaxies every Wednesday, so we will see you guys then as well.
I think he's Italian. Oh, he follows Barack Obama.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.